Jam is here, and it's time for some Dungeons and Dragons fun with your favorite D&D stream. That's us. It's the High Rollers gang. I was referring to us. It's time to raise some money for charity. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. I DM a little show called High Rollers. It's every Sunday. We normally do a stream here, but today it's not. It's about more than that. It's about charity. I'm joined by my lovely friends and players. Joined by. We're going to go around. I'm just going to say the names. You don't have to respond because there's lag. We have Kim. We have Trot. We have Katie. We have Tom. And Rhiannon.
Hello.
There we go. Bam. Done.
My God.
Trot. Listen, we've got one big thing before we get started because somebody who has been donating £1,000 a day every day of the Jingle Jam has just donated $10,000.
Insane.
During our stream.
Wow.
Recall.
Jeez Louise, thank you.
Recall. That's insane.
Thank you so much.
Holy
so
crap.
generous.
Did you see that bar just go up? A hefty amount?
It's just jumped
that was because of Recall.
10K.
Recall donated. 10K.
Amazing.
Message says, High Rollers, in these dark times, you are a beacon of light to so many. Thank you. Thank you. That's being a beacon of light right there. Getting emotional already.
Honestly speechless.
What?
Amazing.
Speaking of donations, because this is a charity stream, none of your donate. It's not to us. That 10K doesn't come to us. We're not getting that money. It's going to amazing causes. And even better, Recall just donated to the one I was going to call out. We have a bunch of amazing causes. If you go to jinglejam.tiltify.com, there's a link all in chat. If you go there, you can scroll down and pick from a bunch of amazing charities. You donate and you get a bundle of games. You can pick which charity you want to support. So if you scroll down, you'll find all the games that you can get in the bundle, including some like some of them are games, some of them are like little add-on packs and stuff. But it's a really awesome bundle of games worth so much money with some really great stuff in there as well. Like
click through.
Just awesome stuff. But you can actually pick out specific charities. We've hit the target for a bunch of them, but the one I was going to call out was one that I think that we could potentially still make to if everybody's very, very generous, is the Mental Health Foundation. I believe that is now something like 30 grand away from being completed, which would bring us up to like 6 or 7 charities that we've helped meet their goals of what they want to achieve. And I think that obviously all of the charities, and you should pick the one that you want to support the most, but the Mental Health Foundation is very, very close, and Recall just dropped 10K on it. So let's make that work and try and finish off that one as well.
I'd love that one to get to the goal. I'm really, really, I love the Mental Health Foundation. So yes, thank you very much for that, Recall.
All of us here especially, we've all had our little struggles and stuff with mental health, and I think that would be an amazing one to support from High Rollers today. So yeah, that's the Jingle Jam. It's a big charity. It happens every year, and this is going to be our little Xmas one shot. If you don't know who we are, we're High Rollers. We play D&D we've been doing it for nearly 5 years now, here on Yogscast and on High Rollers D&D Twitch.
What?
We're currently in our second campaign. Yeah, nearly 5 years. And we're currently in our second campaign. But today's episode, you don't need to have watched all of that. There's going to be a couple of little references for those of you who are mega fans and who know all the lore and stuff. There's going to definitely be some things for you in the episode. But I like to think that we're also it's going to be the kind of episode that you can just sit back and enjoy and have a laugh with. But yeah, that's anything for me. Anything else from me, team? Anything that we should mention before we get started?
In terms of reading donations, I think they'll be done in the break and at the end. They won't be done in the middle of the episode. So if you do donate and you want a message read, they will appear in the middle and at the end.
But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you. Keep them rolling in. Keep them rolling in.
Keep rolling, rolling.
Games. And yeah, I think that's it, right?
Wow, this jumper is so nice.
Well, look, let's
charity.
Really nice.
We're doing this for charity.
I am not.
This is for charity.
We're wearing it. That's it. Okay. That's
Do not go there.
So,
you cheeky sods.
that's it. We're not going to say any more. If Nightjar wants to put the command in chat, that's up to Nightjar, but I'm not going to tell her to do that.
Fine.
So. Right.
I will cut you off.
In mind. With that in mind.
Turn his video off. Turn his video off.
With that in mind. So, maybe let's just do a really quick, let's have everybody just introduce your character, 1 sentence character introduction, just for people, because there's going to be a lot of people who maybe have never watched High Rollers before. Really quick 1 sentence character introductions. We'll start with Kimberly Richards, because I know she can do this very easily, so we'll do that.
Hello, I play Nova Vija. She's in there now. She's a Hexblade Warlock. She has a sentient weapon called Tiangong, who is a very mysterious and potentially quite powerful celestial being. Who knows, Mark Humes. Nerd, books, loves science stuff, naive, very dumb in terms of actual real life, social interactions. So unlike me. Love y'all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. There's Nova. Chris Trott.
I play the sexiest, I think THM's top 100 high elf sexiest D&D characters or something like that. He is Lucius. He's from a very... I don't know what that is. It sounds like a good acronym for a sexy man magazine.
Sure.
He is a... If you've ever seen Blackadder, Part 2, he's the Hugh Laurie prince, the foppish prince. And he is super naive, and he is just loving of everybody and everything. Loves his daddy and his family and wants to do them proud, often hasn't. And he's a bit of a black sheep. Very powerful sorcerer as well, with unique abilities that Mark Humes has conjured up. The Arcane Chromat, where he uses colour to use his magics. So there you go.
There you go. Katie, tell us about Ayla. Go.
I'm playing Ayla. She is a wild elf barbarian, so she's a bit of think of like a Viking elf. That's a wild elf in our world. And she is a Path of the Storm Herald barbarian, so she's got lots of lightning powers, huge hammer that she smacks the crap out of people with. She's a bit sassy, but other than that, she's a total delight.
That is a very apt description. Tom Hazel.
I'm playing Keelek Ad Kalar, or Quill for short, who is a cleric Aarakocra. If you don't know what an Aarakocra is, think Rivali from Breath of the Wild, the Ruto.
Or Falco.
Big Birdman. Or Falco. Oh, big Birdman.
Anthropomorphic bird.
Yeah, and I'm basically the healer of the group. You know him well. If you want some heals, get out of that hell. Help! Quill.
I don't know if that was a good description or not.
Do you know what? Let's just move on. Stop doing the Donkey Kong rap. Let's just move on, because we're going to lose Ree, and we need to get Ree's introduction, and then Ree can laugh. Okay? Right.
Charity.
Ree can laugh. Rhiannon, tell us about
hello.
Sentry.
Hello, I play Sentry. She is a plant mum paladin. She loves everyone. She loves smacking things. She is the queen of Protect. She has her little echo companion that follows her around a lot with the beeps and the boops. Yep. She's all round cool robot mum. She's a Warforged, so no, she's not a Warforged. She's a Guardian,
which is based on Warforged. Which is based on Warforged.
She's like Data from Star Trek.
She attacks
and a sword.
But most importantly, she don't eat no snack.
She don't eat no snack. She loves warm plates.
Yeah.
What is a DM?
Amazing.
Mark?
There's
What's a DM? What's a DM?
Your character?
Tom Hazel stands for Dungeon Master, which means that I am the narrator and referee of the game. It's up to me to describe the world and the consequences of the actions of the players. And I've written my whole world, which is you're about to have revealed before your very eyes. There you go. So, with that in mind, with the characters introduced, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons, shall we? We are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, if you know the system. Is everyone ready? Everyone ready for a lovely Jingle Jam adventure?
Very ready.
Ready for Christmas.
They're all very nervous. They're all very nervous because I sent them an email which basically said...
You sent an email at like 4:30 mark.
Yeah. I sent an email which says, don't open this till I tell you, and you won't need your character sheets. So they're a bit nervous.
I'm excited. I am
sweaty.
so excited. I'm ready for chaos.
Well, we begin with a little bit of narration. Adrift in the astral sea, a shifting space of purple and hazy mist of magic that surrounds the planes and the worlds, joining them together. there floats an enormous black crystalline and metal ship. Soldiers in dark armor with glowing purple magic patrol up and down its interior corridors, preparing for war. But we see a lonely room, single bed, a small desk with a few books stacked atop it. Laying in the bed, looking miserable, is a young girl, about 15 or so, dressed in very regal, almost royal-looking clothing. She has scrunched her eyes up tightly as she buries herself under blankets, and we hear just a faint muttering whisper. I wish I could have just been a regular kid, with normal parents and friends who would always be there for me. And as those words leave, we see a purple pulse of magic around the girl emanate out. Meanwhile, on Aerois, the planet, aboard their airship, the Storm Chaser, our players, our characters, are just beginning to rest as they are traveling onwards from their last destination. Some of them sleeping, some of them trancing, some of them just powered down to recharge. But as all of them drift off in their various ways, those words seem to almost just whisper in their minds. And then everything plunges into a very strange sense of darkness. All of you kind of awaken as if finishing a long rest. But you open your eyes and it's very dark wherever you are. Those of you who are used to having dark vision, you do see your dark vision isn't quite right. It's still too dark. There is a tiny shaft of light coming from what appears to be a kind of window up quite high that's filling the space. And you can make out kind of odd shapes around you, some sort of soft fabric that seems to be stacked against the wall. But you're kind of dazed. You find that you can't move. You find that you're almost paralyzed in your bodies. You can think, you're consciously aware of being awake, but you are unable to move. And then in a sudden flash, light just almost blinds you as this dark space that you've been in, this dark room, the top of it almost seems to come open. Light floods in. You can hear the sound of hustle and bustle, people walking, coming and going, as a much younger Valla, this girl that you had rescued long ago when your adventures first started, but a younger version of her, peers in as if she's a giant towering over you, peers in, reaches down with happy smiles and big scooping hands and lifts you all up, clutching you all to her chest, as she just kind of calls out like, "Time for another adventure with Valla and her friends." And she carts you off to her bedroom, sets you down on a table, and you see each other for the first time. Lucia appears to be a very immaculately kept, almost like Barbie or Ken doll, with pristine limbs, real, almost lifelike hair that comes down, like long blonde lifelike hair that comes down like Lucius's normally does. Wearing a very elegant hand-sewn little outfit with little stick-on gems and all this kind of like decoration. And that's what Lucius appears like. When you look at Quill is a stuffed, adorable little stuffed bird with one arm, only one button eye. The other eye has come loose, and there's like loose threads where the eye should be. And one little kind of like little wrapped up arm. But it's very cute and soft and squishy. It's being kind of like squeezed a little bit as Valla places him on the desk.
Do I have a squeaker?
Ayla, you do not have a squeaker. No squeaker, but just like a soft plush toy, like a soft cuddly toy. Ayla appears as a muscular action figure with kind of gripping hands and a hammer clutched in one hand, and then the other hand is like a grippy hand, so not quite like full flexible fingers, but like a big grippy hand. Squat muscles. They appear to have some sort of like switch or like a wind-up crank on Ayla's back, and her hair, rather than being hair, is all molded in place, so it looks like this kind of wild, molded He-Man-esque kind of She-Ra action figure. Not as dainty as the Lucius Barbie doll, much more sort of like plastic and molded. Sentry is made of metal and looks like a kind of robot, like a much more robotic than her normal form does. Kind of more square and blocky. It looks like she has several joints that can fold up and fold in and out, and all sorts of like little decorations. And it's got screws and joints and things like that, and little kind of like arms that can move. And you can see like little gemstones as well around her body. And then Nova appears to be, she's much smaller than everybody else, and almost like a little figure with a head and a body with arms attached and then legs, but they're all kind of, they look like they can all be separated. And Valla quickly brings over a rocket ship, a blue and black rocket ship that's made from non-copyright construction bricks that all seem to like connect together. And she places the little Nova in the cockpit, and you see a big sticker along one wing which says Tiangong on the rocket ship. And over the next couple of hours, you are led on various adventures through play and pretend as Valla kind of takes you all off onto adventures. You see that there is a large doll house which has been renamed as The Inn, and is set up against like a room. There's like a desk and a chair with some colored drawings and paper, a little chest of drawers, a beautiful kind of princessy bed. And it's very royal and regal, the room that she appears to be in. She sets you down on the desk, and you were all still unable to move, but still conscious, kind of looking around at whatever you can see, when a figure appears in Valla's door, enormous to your eyes now. This whole room, Valla herself, are almost like giants, when you see a very well-dressed nobleman in a very kind of clean-cut, kind of tailcoat tuxedo, with kind of aristocratic jewelry, long dark hair, a very chiseled, stern-looking face, as Callus Starbane, your enemy throughout much of your adventure, the person who has been your kind of ultimate enemy, stands in the doorway and kind of looks in. Valla, it is time for you to begin your studies. No more playing today, please. And the little girl kind of turns around, just like, oh, Father, please, just a little bit longer. No. Your mother will be returning this evening. We must make sure that you have something to show her when you get back. We must continue your studies. Come along now. And she kind of like fusses and kind of huffs, and then goes to pick you all up. Like, well, can I at least bring my friends with me? Callus turns back and is like, no, you need to focus on your studies. Besides, there's something about these old toys that I just don't like. And he comes in and scoops you all up, takes you back over to the toy chest, and places you inside. And just as the lid is being shut, you hear him say, besides, I'm sure you'll forget all about these old toys when you open up your new gifts in the morning. Now come along, you must begin your studies. And you hear Valla being escorted away and the door being shut. And as it does, as you are plunged back into darkness, you feel your limbs almost becoming loose and you able to move and become conscious again. And you may now open up the email and find your relevant stat block that I have given you for your toy form.
Oh my god. Do we have
this is
memory
amazing.
Are we
So you are 100% your characters. You have all your memories. You have all of your awareness. But you are in these bodies. Like things like your spells and stuff like that. You can't seem to use them. Whatever abilities you have, those are the abilities you have. Your hit points are those hit points. Yeah.
Oh my god. my god.
I'm called Nova Brickmaster, not
Yeah,
Lego.
Brickmaster is the brand.
Brickmaster.
Brickmaster is the official brand of these non-copyright Lego construction bricks.
Oh my god, this is so
just
cool.
Super quickly, while we all geek out over this, I just want to point out that we hit our first goal of the night, and also I'm sure I saw someone make a huge donation just then, like £2,400.
Thank you so much.
So again, I'm going to try not to do too much to interrupt it, but yeah, Sathrin,
I know. I just wanted to
donated £2,500. So again, thank you massively, Sathrin. I will read out your message in the break, but I just want to say a big thank you. And yeah, we did just hit that. We now have a new goal. Let's see if we can raise another £25,000 for charity. Let's see if we can get that mental health
amazing
mental health foundation
thank you
amount filled. Thank you very much, everyone. So yeah, you guys find yourselves in these strange new bodies. Some of you might find your movements a little stiffer. Some of you might find your movements a little bit more loose. But yeah, you have all your memories. You are those characters, just limited in form and function.
Wow.
Where on earth are we? What's happening? Help! You all look strange. Was that Valla?
My arm's fallen off. My arm's fallen off. My arm has fallen off.
Oh no,
There's something. There's something on my back. Is there something on my back? Can someone?
I'm so
What the hell is
bouncy.
this? What's this?
Why am I so bouncy? What is happening?
This is exactly what I was hoping for. Excellent. But yeah. Yeah, those of you who looked, so
Was that-
one of Nova's arms has fallen off in being placed in the toy chest. It looks like it's become disconnected. But Nova, you can still move that arm. Like you can sense that the arm will move on its own if you command it to.
Why is my arm moving? It's moving. Look, it's moving.
Lucius seeing a disembodied arm moving, faints.
Okay, there you go. So Lucius kind of collapses down, but he has to do it in like an awkward, like he's sitting perfectly upright, and then his body like falls backwards, restricted by joint. Sentry and Quill, if you look at Ayla, yeah, she has this kind of like wind up crank on her back, which seems to connect to like springs inside her body, basically.
Hang on, Ayla. I'll try and figure out how to walk. This is so weird. I'm like rocking back and forth, and then I start bouncing.
Yeah, it's kind of you find that you can get like a sense of movement. You'll notice on your stat sheets, by the way, things like your movement speed is just 1 foot. Imagine that everything is kind of like times by 10. So things like 30-foot movement speed is now like a foot of movement speed.
I also noticed my hit points too.
Yes,
2,
you might
by the
find
way.
that those are considerable lower.
3.
Yeah.
I got 1 more.
4.
I have 3.
I usually have
Amazing.
considerably more than all of you.
Guys.
This is this is not on. This is not the way it should be.
And yeah,
Where's my 150?
not there anymore, unfortunately. You do
Okay,
notice,
okay.
like, there are a couple
my
of things,
arm-
though. Go on.
No, my arm can crawl at half-foot
Yes.
speed, so I guess, well, whatever's going to happen next, I'm kind of summoning my arm back and it just starts crawling across the thing.
Little fingers kind of like grip
Weirdest
along,
thing I've
and
ever
eventually you
seen.
get close enough that you can kind of pop it back in, and it feels like it's natural. Ayla, you still feel quite strong, even though you're kind of feel this form. You still feel that you're stronger than most. Sentry, you can feel you're made of metal. You feel much more durable. Quill is definitely very soft and looks very malleable. As you all see these kind of and it's also very dark. Like you're only getting this tiny amount of light, which you can now see is like a little tiny keyhole in this chest that you were placed in. Is just filtering a little bit of light into the whole place. It's very dark. Looking around, you can now see that what the shapes that you felt before are building blocks. They're like wooden blocks, and there is a large blanket in here as well. But yeah.
Is this some form of curse? Maybe a nightmare? Am I dreaming? This could be a dream.
Why was Valla so young? Also, did you see Starbane? He was a dad. A dad.
He was huge.
And he mentioned a mum. He
Hold on.
mentioned
Yeah,
Valla's
that,
mum,
no,
right?
it can't be real. Yes,
I can barely see any of you. Let me
He's-
just rub
he's
my
not
jammies.
being-
I'm rubbing.
So
Oh
Lucius
God.
starts rubbing his like little stick on
This
gems.
feels right.
And as he
It
rubs
feels
them,
so right.
they begin glowing. They begin like giving off light, and you can now see each other much more clearly.
It's a feature of my doll. That's a feature
is.
that
It's
my
getting
doll
weirder and weirder.
Is it?
has.
Is it
very
now?
bright, Lucius? The gems are glowing actually quite brightly. Like everyone, it's almost too bright.
Well,
Well, look, we need to
That's
figure out how to
better.
get out of here. We need to get through that hole up there. I think.
Can we make a ladder? Maybe try and climb up somehow? We
Yes,
need to work
these-
together.
We can
These wooden
move
blocks.
these. We can move these. I'll move some of them, and it's okay. It's okay, guys. I still have a hammer. I grippy
Yes.
grippy hands.
You've got little grippy hands, basically.
Still got a hammer, so it's fine. It could be worse. It could be worse.
And you guys can still move. You can still think as normal and everything else. And Ayla, you start pushing one of these wooden blocks up against the side. And yeah, you're going to have to create like a pyramid stack. So Ayla is currently doing that. Ayla's strong enough that I don't think you need to make a check. You can just start moving a block
Apparently,
into place.
I count for 2 toys for the strength
You do. You count as 2 toys.
because
for
I'm
purposes of
strong.
strength. Yep, you're made of hard plastic.
Yep.
What's everyone else doing? While Ayla is moving block.
I'm bouncing myself against a block to try and move it, but I don't think that's going to work.
You want to?
It's so
Tom
bouncy.
Hazel, I would like you to make for me a strength check. What's your strength
Oh, yeah?
modifier there, Tom Hazel?
It's -4, Mark.
It is.
Oh my
It's
god, I
minus
got a 12. I got a 12.
12 total.
Yeah.
So you kind of throw yourself, and you're like a kind of like a typical plush toy, right? Like soft and fluffy, and you kind of just have to like constantly like shoulder barge into it, but it doesn't hurt you. You just kind of like wrap around it almost, and kind of like boom, boom. But you do kind of slide a block over, like.
I'm helping.
I would really
Still
like
have some
it
strength.
if he did have a squeak inside him, so every time he hit it, it would just be like.
Sure. Okay. Let's add a squeaker then. So yeah, it's like a squeaky sound.
Not a squeaker, it's just me going.
So you now have like a platform of 2 blocks up against the side of the wall with Lucius's glow-in-the-dark gems providing you with illumination to see by. What's Sentry, Nova, Lucius, anything?
I think
am I
Sentry
still
would
in
be
my
helping.
little rocket ship?
No.
Right,
So
yeah.
your rocket ship was left out in the room somewhere, probably on the desk. You're gonna have to go and collect him.
No.
One thing I would say, Nova, you still have a telepathic connection to Tiangong. You can sense, you can sense their presence. There is like some lingering, whether it's because that connection between you is so strong normally, some of it has passed over into whatever this dream or vision or curse or reality or whatever it is you happen to be in. You hear a very faint voice, just kind of call out in your mind like a Nova Vija. I appear to be in many pieces.
Always been
Me
the way.
too, Tiangong. My arm is currently crawling towards me. I don't know what's going. Can you move, Tiangong?
I am unable to move in my current form. I am many pieces. More than I am normally.
Oh no, no, no! Oh no! I just realised how Tiangong Canon Tiangong matches brickmastering so well, and I recognise it and I appreciate it, Mark Humes.
Thank you. You do hear a voice. I currently am on a high vantage point overlooking a strange chamber. It appears we are in a extremely large room of sorts. You have been deposited into a small chest.
Okay, well, we're working on a way out, and as soon as we get out, I'll try and put you back together again.
Excellent. I should warn you, there are numerous tiny soldiers that are patrolling the bedroom.
What?
Wait, did everybody hear that? Tiangong
Only
says
you
there's
heard
tiny soldiers. Tiangong says there's tiny soldiers patrolling the bedroom. We're in a bedroom.
Oh!
In a chest, in a bedroom.
Okay,
Why?
that's okay.
There are tiny
I still have
soldiers.
the hammer. I could hit them.
But
I
why?
just need to get out to do that. I'm
Are
very up
they-
for that.
Are they tiny relative to us or
That's a good
Tiangong?
point.
If Nova,
But
you asked
Tiangong
this to
is
Tiangong,
many pieces.
he is. You hear a response back if you ask Sentry's question. They appear to be smaller than your forms were last I saw you. They appear to be coloured similar to Valkyrian soldiers.
Oh no.
They are smaller than your forms currently. But there are several.
Okay, so Ayla can just punt them into the next universe. Okay, well, I think we should probably try and get out of here first, and then I think we need to get to Tiangong. I don't like the idea that Tiangong's out there disassembled with tiny Valkyrian soldiers wandering around.
Do you think this
Oh
is
no,
a Starbane magic of some sort to keep us contained and out of sorts whilst he does his, attack on Aerois?
Yeah,
Or you were trapped?
but Vala's young. She's little. She wasn't that little when we left her. Unless she's been cursed. Has she been cursed? Nova, do you think
She
she's
could
been
be
cursed?
part of the curse, yes.
Oh my
She could have been
god! I
part of the
bet they
curse.
took the knives we gave her too.
Wait.
Probably.
Also, Callus mentioned she's getting new toys, and then she'll forget all about us. New toys. We're her best toys.
What? Toys?
Yeah. You are a toy.
Okay, I'm gonna keep piling these blocks. If we can get up there, we can
You're gonna
have a
need
look
somebody-
through.
So you're at the stage now where you've got 2 big wooden blocks up against the wall. You're going to need to lift and push another one on top, which means that somebody's going to have to help you, Ayla, to either pull it into place, or you're going to have to climb up and then take it off somebody as they lift it up to you. And then you might be able to reach up to the top. Yeah,
Ayla,
Can
hand on
I
me.
do it with Sentry?
sure.
Just
So you and Sentry
squish.
kind of together kind of push up.
Yeah.
Slide it into place, and then you climb up and kind of pull it back in. And you now have a little ladder of a block, and then a block on top. And yeah, you can get up to the keyhole, Ayla, when you get on the top. And peering out, yeah, you look out onto it. To you, it would be like a giant's bedroom, right? It's this enormous room with this huge bed that's the size of a castle, chests of drawers that are tall towers, a desk with a chair. And looking out, you can see little tiny tin soldiers, little Warhammer figure sized Valkyrian soldiers, all in rigid positions, kind of stomping around on their little round bases as they kind of spiral around in patrols. And they seem to be kind of doing a patrol of the bedroom itself. You can also see movement inside the dollhouse, which has been labeled in. You can actually see maybe 2 figures moving around, but it's hard to see who they are.
Ooh.
I think we should go to the inn. I think there's people in the inn. There's other people. Oh God, I hate to think what they are, but also soldiers. So we can time it. Hopefully, I don't know. Can I try and push the lid? If
lid
I
up.
push it, is it
Even
open?
with your extra strength, being a strong toy that you are, you managed to lift it up, but on your own, you can only lift it about an inch. You managed to lift it about an inch high, and you can hold it there, but it's a lot of effort. You're holding it up.
God
Oh.
damn it! I'm not strong enough in this form. This is very frustrating.
If you need a hand,
I'll
I can come
shout
help.
to Sentry to come and help as well. Hopefully.
Sure. Sentry, how are you going to climb up to get up to where Ayla is, up on top of these blocks? Do you want to just try and climb it, or just get someone to give you a
yeah.
boost, or how do you want to do it?
I think I'll just try and climb it. Try and scurry my way up.
Sure.
coming
Give me an athletics check then. So if you have
Okay,
athletics as a skill.
Yeah. Ooh, 16.
16, yeah. So you kind of managed to get 2 metal hands up and pull yourself up. You're very heavy, even to your own strength. As you kind of pull yourself up, you can see that your weight kind of pushes down on the blocks, and you managed to climb up to the second one, pull yourself up next to Ayla, and then the 2 of you managed to lift up big enough that a toy could get out the other side, but you still have to kind of hold it open. And then there's just a drop down. You can see that on the other side of the chest is maybe only a foot high in real world, but as you look down from this opening, it's quite a drop down to the floor from where you are.
Oh, Ayla, that's a long way down. Ayla, that's a really long way down.
It's okay.
Oh.
Okay. We need something to get down there. I don't know. Is there any extra building blocks that Nova can put together? Make a thing? I don't know.
I think if you're looking around, you can see me bouncing around quite lightly. Whoa!
Yeah, Quill looks like he doesn't weigh anything. He looks like he's full of feathers and stuffing, as opposed to plastic and metal.
Let me know if you figure out a plan to get down there.
Rolls around.
It's a really long drop, Quill. It's a really long drop.
Maybe I
I'm
can
working on
help,
it.
and I swoosh my long, luscious hair.
Sure.
And it seems to grow unnaturally long. I'll just climb up to you all. And stilted without any articulation in the arms, I'm going to try and climb up.
You kind of have to get helped up as you just lift your arms up. And you can sort of bend them in the way that they did in Toy Story, but it's very stiff and awkward. But yeah, when you climb up, Sentry and Ayla, you notice that Lucius's hair, where it connects to his doll head, there's more if you start pulling it, Lucius's hair grows as you pull it. It's as you begin pulling it out.
It's okay. You can
Oh, I hate it.
pull on my hair. We need
I
to
really
get down.
don't. I really don't want to do that.
It's for the greater good. I get into a
Uh,
position to stabilize myself. Pull.
Sentry.
I'll just pull a single hair. Does it hurt? I mean, is
No,
it okay?
It's fine.
Doesn't hurt.
Totally fine.
Okay. I'll just gradually just grab more.
Start grabbing handfuls of it and
Adding
pulling it.
more.
Yeah. You can pull out about a foot of hair. Like you like it kind of unravels like a rope.
Okay, this is unusual, but everything here is unusual, so I'll just keep rolling with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of hair.
Oh no, Sentry's at her.
coming.
I'm gonna talk and try and cope with things stage already, and we've only just started.
If I just keep talking, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? You know, this is just gonna be. Just wake
And
up.
yeah,
and
you
everything will be
eventually
back
have
to
enough,
normal.
which looks like it will reach down to the bottom of the toy chest.
Okay,
Okay.
so we need to lift this, and everyone needs to get out. Quill, do you want to climb down? And Nova, if we make it for the inn, like, can I
go.
try and time it for the patrols?
Sure, make
How
a
many-
perception check for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to spot, like, make sure you don't miss any of the hidden soldiers and things like that.
15.
15, yeah. You think you've kind of spotted most of the patrols, and you wait for them. One of them go under the bed, and it looks like they've maybe got like a little base or something as they kind of retreat under the bed. The other ones make their way up to the desk and start using each other to kind of climb up. They form like a little kind of wobbly ladder of each other, and then they climb up, and then the next one follows up, and then the next one, and the next one, like climbing monkeys.
No,
up
no, they're
chair.
organized. They're organized.
And you do see them, like, their little arms, they, like, snap little salutes, and then they kind of go back into their little Space Marine poses, and they kind of waddle around, making their way over. You do also see a couple of them. One of them, who's up on the ledge, the window ledge, appears to be riding, like, a griffin, like a plastic griffin, and it's kind of, like, kind of patrolling around, looking around very... its head is on a very specific swivel, and its wings kind of like molded shapes. But one of these Valkyrian soldiers is looking around on it as if scouting, and makes his way across. But yeah, you managed to time it so that you think the others could climb down and get out without being spotted.
So I think I've climbed up and I'm like looking at the patrols and I'm kind of having to balance because I'm like a round-bodied quill thing. So I'm
You
like
kind of
balancing
like
on the edge.
Yeah, you're like your beak kind of droops a little because you're a soft toy.
Yeah, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, okay, on me, everyone. When I say so, we jump. Okay, is everyone ready? And then I just fall by accident.
So you
My
watch
entire
as
quill
Quill
like
just flops out, but he just kind of lightly kind of like thump. He doesn't take any damage because he's made of stuffing, so he actually is light enough that he doesn't take full damage, and he just kind of thump, flops against the ground and kind of almost forms like a little beanbag at the bottom, like a little safety cushion.
Can I
Wasn't
throw
intentional.
myself on the beanbag, Quill? I wanna.
Yeah,
I
do you want to
wanna-
use Lucius' hair to try and climb down, or are you just going to jump out and try and land on the quill bag?
I'm just gonna try and land because I'm curious as to what would happen if all my parts
Sure.
fall apart.
Sure.
For science.
If you don't have acrobatics as a skill, just make a dex check for me. So just roll plus dex. If you don't have
Plus
acrobatics,
dex,
which I
I
don't
got
think you do.
I got +3 Dexy. Roll. 12, 13, 14, 15.
You manage to aim and target well enough that you just kind of land in the middle of Quill's Totoro-like body, where you just kind of inside. And you're only... So as a point in terms of sizing, by the way, Lucius is one of the tallest now. Like, he's got this kind of like Ken Barbie kind of tall body, long body. Nova is tiny. She's like a little Lego minifig size. Ayla's like a little He-Man squat kind of figure. Sentry's like a kind of metal. She's probably the second tallest. And then Quill is just this like round blob of stuffing. So he kind of like flops and oozes around like...
Well, I'm constructed plushie. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You are just soft. You don't just kind of flop around, but you are definitely... you can shrink and stretch and pull, and you're more malleable. But yeah, so yeah, Nova just lands on the cushion. You don't take any falling damage. You manage to make the check. Sentry and Ayla and Lucius are still at the top with this long Lucius hair rope by your feet, ready to be lowered down.
How does Quill react to a tiny Brickmaster Nova just flumping on him?
Falling out the chest was a mistake, so I was like getting up and ready to like brush myself off, and then all of a sudden,
You do hear the squeak. Yeah, the squeak goes off.
okay, this will
Thank you,
will have
Lucius.
to work.
Thank you, Quill.
You're the small one.
Kind
The
of
other
like-
ones aren't going to do that, are they?
Yeah, Sentry does that.
I'm looking
It
up
doesn't
at
look like
Sentry
it's
and
gonna go
Ayla.
well. Yeah.
Don't
Don't worry,
pats
I'm
her
not.
elbow.
Yes. You might want to brace, Quill.
I think Ayla will maybe be like part way down climbing the Lucius hair when she just sees Nova just what?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'll climb down the hair.
Yeah. So yeah, Ayla, you climb down. Lucius, it doesn't hurt. It's just like nothing, to you don't feel it. You're just kind of stuck with your head sticking out of the toy box at the top.
I feel
at
at
the
some
top
point
of the
I'd just become like a piton or something like that, just wedged up against the chest wall.
like with your back
Just
of
an
your head
anchor.
trailing down
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah.
This is fine.
Sure.
Okay.
Ayla makes
think
it down. Ayla's not too heavy, so Ayla just kind of like with her gripping hands, just grips the hair with these like little claw vice hands. The hammer, by the way, Ayla, is magnetic, so you can stick it to your back, and then you pull it back, and then it
Nice.
comes free. So you just ka-chunk, and then it sticks in place.
I feel like I should get one of these when we finish this. This is very handy. This is
Good idea.
giant
Ka-dunk,
thing.
And yeah, you managed to climb down next to Quill and leave Sentry and Lucius up at the top.
I think Sentry would start climbing down, but she'd be very cautious as to not get any hair caught, like in her like
The
weird
joints.
And the
joints. Yeah.
Well, Sentry, you also have the problem of what does it say under your made of metal? I believe it states that you are quite heavy, doesn't it?
I'm heavy and I count as 2 toys for the purposes of weight.
So,
I'm a heavy
Lucius,
girl.
I need you to make a strength check, please, Lucius.
Oh, that's a
Stay
minus 4.
wedged in place.
2? 2
Two.
total?
So 2 things happen as Sentry begins climbing her way down. You
Please
hear
don't
the
pop my head
hair.
off.
You hear the hair rip. So this huge chunk of like long hair that you've been using as a rope just completely rips free. And Sentry, you go tumbling down, but Lucius, the weight of the thing pulls you out of the toy chest as well. The 3 of you who are on the ground, you've got like a second before Lucius and Sentry hit the floor. What do you do?
I mean, this is like when I was like looking up, like what are the others going to do? And I look up. I see.
Can I
Um,
try and push Quill under where Lucius is gonna land? Not
Sure.
Sentry,
Quill.
but under where Lucius is gonna land. Seeing
Quill,
that
do you-
Nova landed on him and was fine.
Quill, do you stop? Do you try and resist?
I don't know.
I just get pushed.
So Ayla
I'm
just
gonna-
shoves you onto the ground as Lucius basically is about to hit your body.
Sorry.
Nova? Or is it just watch Sentry kind of...
I'm just gonna look up, and I think in Nova's head, she's gonna start making calculations. She's gonna start seeing like kind of the chalk marks of like she's calculating Sentry's trajectory
trigonometry,
and
yeah.
time and mass and blah blah. And by the time
And then-
she gets to the solution of it, Sentry probably lands on her. Just lands
Yeah.
straight on her.
Well, I think yeah, Sentry falls down. I think that just because you can make a dex save if you want. If you want it to go that way, Nova, then make a dexterity check for me, please. Dexterity saving throw. This would be
Okay.
if you don't
Screw
have a
it,
saving
why
throw.
not? It's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's Christmas. I'm here for the banter. I'm here for the memes. I'm here for getting squashed by Sentry.
Pushed by-
I just get like a slide
Good
going like,
rolls.
no, it's like
14,
Sentry's
15,
falling.
16, 17.
17. You do manage to kind of sidestep out of the way at the last second as poor Sentry kind of just clatters to the floor. Now, Sentry is made of metal, which means she's very resistant to things. You take 1 point of damage, Sentry, which is just the minimum. That's with resistance. So you kind of like crunch, and you just hear like a little kind of like crunching sound as you embed into the kind of heavy wooden floors with a thump. And yeah, you land quite sorely down on the ground. The loud metal crash probably did make a heavy noise. So what is the next step? Lucius, there's a point. It's not your whole hair that's gone. It's just like one long chunk that they were using as rope. Yeah, it's just like the one chunk. You have more to be pulled and grown if you would desire.
And I land fine on Quill, I assume.
Oh yeah, you just land on soft Quill, poof, like a little cushion.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
A loud
soft,
metal
really.
clash. And an even louder squeak because Lucius is way bigger than Nova.
Yeah.
It totally worked. Hey, sorry, Quill. You are
Does
very,
the floor take
very
any
squishy.
damage from Sentry?
The floor is definitely damaged. Yeah, you see like a little crack in the floorboards from where Sentry landed. Like she's made of like almost solid metal, so it's just like.
I'm just laying there, just holding a clump of blonde hair. Like...
Yeah. You can keep that length of hair if you want, by the way. It's basically like a little rope at this stage. It's
30 feet of rope.
You braided it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Lucius. I'm so sorry.
It's
Are you hurt?
okay.
Are you okay?
I didn't realize how heavy you were in this
Do
strange
you want this
form.
back? Do you
I
want
don't think it'll
this?
go back in. Don't try and push it back in. Please,
Okay.
you keep it. And I thank Quill and I give him a little pincer squeak with my two unarticulated hands.
Ow!
Thank you, Quill. So soft and fluffy.
My button eye bulges a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, a little tight.
Okay.
And yeah, you can
the
see that there
soldiers
is
might
now
have
this...
heard that.
So yeah, there is this big expansive floor to the dollhouse with the under the bed, and yeah, you can already begin to hear kind of clattering of plastic coming from nearby.
I hope they don't have any sharp bits.
Where is-
They'll pop me open.
Where's Tiangong at this point? They're on
So
the
you can
desk.
see, yeah, Nova, you can see on the desk, there's like a little, like stacks of books and paper, and there's just this stack of like blue and black Brickmaster that's been kind of scattered around. Some of it's half formed, still in the rocket ship, but the soldiers don't seem to be, the little soldiers don't seem to be interested in it. They're just kind of more just patrolling the room. They don't seem to be interested in Tiangong.
Can I like summon it to me? Can I kind of like, I don't know, use
You,
whatever
any
connection we
magical
have?
kind of like sense apart from his telepathy? No, like it's just a big pile of bricks at the moment. You can see that there's like wheels. There's all sorts of like different components to it, but yeah, it does not magically arrive to you. You could try and climb up there, or you can make your way over to the inn. You guys can split up. What do you want to do?
I don't really want to leave Tiangong on their own. They're right there by the soldiers. What should we do?
I think make a stop at the inn, then make a plan. Stop at the inn, plan. There might be things in there that we can use because he's really high up.
That's
Is it-
true. I've
Yeah, I
lost
guess
my
they are.
climbing
For
hair.
some reason, my connection with them isn't working. I'm trying to summon them, but I can't. Tiny Brickmaster arm. Do I have like the little Brickmaster like claw claw hands?
Little claw hands. Yeah, yeah.
How can I write with these hands?
Yeah. With great difficulty. Ayla is in a very similar position. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll help
So
you
with
get
that,
to them.
you guys just going to make a run for this dollhouse, this inn that's been labeled
Yeah.
as?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
You guys kind of flop your way, roll your way, or kind of awkwardly run your way across the wooden floor of Vala's room, and you arrive at a very pretty doll's house. It's been set against the floor. You can see it's obviously been assembled with great care and love, and a little handwritten childish sign has been stuck to the side of it that says "in," just in like really childish handwriting. There's like a little door, and you arrive up to it, you open it up and step inside, and you can see just the kind of painted wooden walls, all of it kind of hand decorated, with little tables and chairs and things like that set around it. And there are two figures. One is kind of stuffed in, a little bit too big for the space, but they're kind of resting in it and are able to kind of move and twist. They appear to be a stuffed rabbit with boxing gloves for hands and a little pair of shorts. And they have a little name tag next to their fluffy tail, which says Sana on it. And then there is also a tiny little Sylvanian family-style hedgehog lady wearing a very pretty little apron and a little kind of tunic with a little bandana around. And she kind of looks over and says, "Oh, well, I wasn't expecting any more toys. Welcome to Rosalina's Inn. Hello, how are you?" And she kind of looks over.
Rosalina.
Rosalina, I haven't seen you in forever.
Oh, what are you talking about? You were just here with Lady Valla a moment ago. It is wonderful to see you all. And she kind of like looks around. I would ask Miss Sana to make some space, but she's a little bit stuck in the corner at the moment. And you can see the kind of stuffed rabbit is just like, "Yes, very sorry, can't really move right now. Valla stuffed me in here pretty tight."
Do you want a hand?
Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, you with your gripping fingers, you kind of grip onto like her stuffed boxing gloves and pull her, and she kind of gets pulled free. And you can see, she's kind of got like this long kind of like rabbit-like bipedal body and these big boxing gloves, so she can't grip anything. She's just got fists. And she's like, "Oh, that's so much better. Oh, thanks, Action Ayla. Thought I was going to be stuck in there till Valla came back."
What? Action Ayla? Are you?
Yes,
Are you both placed in this curse as well?
They kind of look at each other very confused, like, "What are you talking about?"
This whole dreamscape. Is this Callister Starbane doing?
I think
what
Pretty
is
Hair
happening?
Lucius is, I think Pretty Hair Lucius must have hit his head in the
Lucius.
I mean, thank you. You don't have to say that, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Yes, are you all feeling well? I know that you had some big
What
adventures
happened
with
to my hands? What happened to my hands?
Where are your hands, my dear? I don't understand. Are you all right? You're not worrying about what you're not worrying about what Mr. Callis said, are you? Valla won't forget about any of you. Don't worry.
Actually, weirdly enough, I am worried about that.
Oh no.
I'm worried
You've
about
seen
many
Miss
things that are
Valla's
not that.
friend since she was little. She'd never forget about any of you. You're her favorite toys.
What if she grows up? I don't know why Quill is so into this.
It obviously
He's
touched
always
the
wanted to
nerve
be a
with
little
Phil.
plushy.
Yeah, he's like, it's obviously like some haunted childhood trauma of Quill's. His favorite toys were taken from him or something.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to defeat Starbane when he's so huge? He's unfathomably mass. This is impossible.
Oh
Rose
dear,
is
I think the season has gotten to our friends a little too much, Miss Sana. Don't worry about it. Just because Miss Valla's going to be getting new toys for Snow Song, it's fine. You're not going to be replaced or anything like that. It's
We're
a good
not
time. It's a
toys.
holiday.
We're real
Yes, of
people.
course you are.
And I stick my arm up. We're stuck in these strange plastic bodies, or squishy ones in Quill's case.
Very
We're not
squishy.
supposed to be here.
Well, Sana kind of looks over. Well, we don't know what you're really talking about, but if there's something wrong, Miss Valla would probably know, or maybe Mr. Callis has something in his office that can explain it if he thinks something's wrong. He has a lot of books in his office, although that is where Zarkira is, and she kind of looks a bit nervous. Well, Mr. Callis's snake, Zarkira. She doesn't like toys very much.
Oh,
Pretty
for
sure she's broken a
God's
few of us
sake.
in the past.
Oh no!
That's if Maximilian doesn't get you. Although he'll probably just bury you in the garden.
It's getting worse.
Who's Maximilian?
Maximilian's the dog.
Yes, he's Mr. Callis's dog. Of course he is.
Incredible.
I think Sentry's just going to
It's
sit on the floor, just in a corner, just.
Okay, look. Nova is incomplete in her current form. She needs to get Tiangong back.
Well, that's right. Of course, your rocket. Yes, of course. Oh, well, those tin soldiers are a bit uppity. They said that Sana and I we're not allowed to leave until Miss Valla comes back. They might be a bit angry if they find you out of the toy chest. But still, we need to get Brickmaster Nova's rocket ship back. Yes, we can't have you separated. That's not very fair. Oh, I know. What if I distract the soldiers and then you guys can climb up to the rocket ship?
That's a great idea. How do you think we should climb up there? How do we usually do this?
I mean, well, Action Ayla's very strong. And obviously, obviously, Sentinel Prime can become her Elkin form. That's normally a good one as well.
I'm sorry,
Is that
what?
so?
Hey, what's my
Well,
name?
Sentinel
Cedric?
Prime is the leader of the Transformons.
Yes.
And don't tell me. I mean, that's. Oh, you need to be careful though. I really hope that Miss Valla hasn't got. I really hope that Miss Valla hasn't got Mega Breeze for songs for Snow Song, your arch enemy.
Hang on. Sorry,
Mega
wait, hang on.
Breeze.
Transformers.
Transformons. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best
Sentinel
you can
Prime.
do.
Yeah, I came up with it just now. I didn't think of a brand name for them.
I came up with it right
Mega
now.
Breeze.
Oh,
Mega
my
Breeze.
God.
My goodness.
The arch nemesis of Sentinel Prime.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, I can try and climb up there. Do you know roughly, just as a rough gauge, how many tiny little shit soldiers are out there? Little
Quite a
tiny-
lot of them. Lord Callus bought them all for Miss Vala's birthday, but she's not a big fan of them. I think probably he misjudged her interest in small miniature war soldiers. There's quite a few of them, though they are quite separated. I can probably distract a bunch of them, but I mean, if you do get into a scrap with them, just give them a little knocking around, and I'm sure that they'll leave you alone for a bit. I mean, the
Yeah,
worst
see,
that can
got
happen
a
is
hammer,
they get
guys.
broken.
Hammer, see? Magnet.
Exactly. Action
Magnet.
Ayla can definitely take care of something. I mean, the worst case that can happen is they get broken. So that's all. And then Lord Callus will fix them.
Hmm.
Or Mr. Callus. Mr. Callus.
Sure.
Missed
Now, how do we climb up? It was very, very high up there.
Well, just work together. Normally normally you all stack on each other and get on each other's shoulders. That normally seems to work. You just need to get, once you can get Brickmaster Nova up there, you can build Tiangong into like a car or a little, I don't know, like a ladder to climb yourself
Spaceship.
back down, can't you? Sure.
Spaceship.
Ah.
Spaceship!
Spaceship.
How far do you think you could throw me?
Maybe I could throw you. I could try it.
You could definitely
Sure.
try.
Maybe. Sure love to fly.
I have a very weird idea.
Oh, Sano will look over and say like, "Oh, Action Ayla, you haven't got any of the others to wind you up yet."
I mean, they wind me up daily. They're an absolute nightmare to be around.
No, I meant your wings. And she kind of goes to the back of you, and you feel like something like twisting in your back, and your muscles suddenly become very sort of tight, and you feel like you've got an extra powerful swing in you. Ah, there we go.
Is
Your
it
wind-up
perhaps
whack is ready.
a wind-up whack.
A wind-up whack. Yeah, it's your wind-up whack.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Action Ayla's special move.
Yeah. Wind-up whack.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice, nice, nice.
Is there
Okay,
some
I
sort
don't
of...
know how that's going to help me right now, but I
Oh,
feel
I'm
like
sure
I
it'll
want to
come in
fight.
handy. Go on, Lucius.
Is there some
You-
sort of sticker mirror somewhere?
Oh yeah, yes there is. Yeah, in the dollhouse you can find like one of those like little stuck-on reflective mirrors. That's, you kind of have to look at it a bit funny and it's a bit warped, but it does the job.
What have you become, Lucius? Although this attire is very fetching, I love the stitchwork. Oh, and actually the hair is very luscious. Oh, wow. You know what? This isn't so bad.
I think Lucius would probably remember seeing similar dolls like this in Gusthaven. They would sell kind of like little, male and female dolls.
I think Lucius would have some, in fact.
Yeah, probably. You do remember that they're a little bit anatomically different to what you're used to being.
Oh, interesting. Well, You know what, Quill? You know what you
It's
remind
very
me of?
smooth.
Yeah.
Mr. Snubbles.
Mr. Snubbles.
I think that's why you
What's
fill
that?
my heart with so much joy. It's the toy I had with me ever since I was a child. And I took it on
Wait a
the
minute.
airship with me when we crashed.
That's the name you were shouting as we were crashing. Wait a minute. No.
Yes.
So
Oh,
wait.
come here,
was your-
Mr. Snubbles.
No, Lucius, no.
Come here.
No, I didn't want this, Lucius.
Oh, it's so good to see you so big.
Why
You
is
just
this
kind of lift him
happening?
up and squish him.
This big cat now, toy Lucius.
As I'm squishing him, I look up at his face. I think special parts of me are smoothed over. I'm trying to fight through the pain.
What? What do you mean? What special
Trying.
parts?
It feels
No.
so wrong.
Rhiannon's gone. Rhiannon's done.
Lucius,
We need to get out of here, Quill. Help me. Please.
why did you tell me this?
I don't know. I'm hurt inside.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
a plastic toy.
How do we get to the spaceship then? Or whatever it is,
dear.
broken pieces, turn into a car, whatever a car is.
I
Just
don't wish
do
to
something.
intrude. But while everyone's having a mild freak out, could somebody give me a hand? Like literally, give me a hand. My hand has fallen off, and it's crawling over the bar. I'm not entirely sure what to do, but I don't want to move in case other parts of me fall off. Anyone?
Where's it? Where is it going?
No one?
What's the plan? Where's? Can I
Little
follow?
Genuinely
hedgehog.
don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, Nova's hand is doing whatever Nova wants it to do, so probably trying to make its way back to Nova along the bar. And they just literally sock it back in. But you can see that Nova's head could be lifted off in the same way, and her legs can be detached from her body in the same way, leaving just like a pair of walking legs. Not individual legs, they have to be a matching pair.
Of course.
Oh.
As is the
Actually-
Brickmaster way.
Yeah, Brickmaster way.
Thinking about it, Ayla, pull my head off.
Oh, no,
Again,
don't do
no.
that. Don't.
No, I can't look. Don't do it.
Come on,
I can't look either.
I want to try something.
Sure, why not?
I want to try
Okay.
something. Come on,
Just
pull my head off.
It just pops off. And yeah, Nova, you can still control your body. You can look around. You can see your head is completely detached. As long as you can see your body, your body can act normally. But if you can't see your body is basically blind. So you can still move it, but it has all the penalties for being blind because you can't see it. So
Well,
you can't
this
see
is
what it's
rather-
doing.
This is rather interesting. That's my body there. That's my head here. Oh, look, my arm's moving. I've made my arm move. Look, hello. Look, I'm waving at
I'm
my
gonna-
head. Hello, head.
I'm gonna
Hello.
pick up I'm gonna have the head, and I'm just gonna go, look, Lucius! Look!
Stop.
Look!
Stop. I
Hello,
pass out.
Lucius.
I keep
Oh,
falling out
no.
of consciousness. I can't catch a glance of it
Lucius
again.
has done a whoopsie
But is
doopsie.
that...
I'm gonna hand Nova her head back to her little
Yeah,
tiny
and you can
arms.
carry your own head. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'll carry my own head. I have an idea. Ayla, do you think you could throw my body parts up onto the table where the ship is?
I mean, I could try. Sure.
You certainly could try.
Why don't you
Why
all
not?
have a throwing competition? Everyone take a limb and throw them up onto that table.
I'm going to go ahead and say someone else can do it.
We don't have the
Sure.
strength like Ayla does with her whacking arm.
Yeah, if
yeah,
I wound
use
that,
your
so
right
that's
arm.
wound up. Could I use the
Oh,
momentum
true.
of that to just?
Exactly that. You can. So you realize, Ayla, that if that arm in particular, one arm in particular, can make this really powerful kind of like swinging motion. So if you held like Nova's head, you could launch it, and then somebody could wind you up again, and then you could throw the body, and then you could throw the legs, and it would go quite a distance. Like it's really powerful. It's got a really powerful spring to it.
I'm like rocking
Sure, I'll
behind
try
her,
that.
pressing the lever.
Meh. You do have hands, like you have your wing. You can kind of like flop around.
I know, but I imagine it's like tiny compared to my round plush body. Easier to use my
Round little
beak.
board.
Sana can also help. Sana's quite happy to help wind up Ayla, but yeah, there's also Sana turns around, her kind of like stuffed rabbit, big boxing is just like, well, somebody's going to need to distract these soldiers. Do you want me to take care of that? I can probably get a squad of them to follow me.
Sure.
Okay,
it's
Sana.
a squad
What are you
left.
going to do after
Yep.
that? What's your plan? Are you going to go find Miss Valla? Are you going to... I mean, she's been stuck in her studies. You know what Mr. Callus is like. He's going to keep her there all day. Are you going to try and find her?
No idea. No clue.
Do you know, I definitely want to go and see Valla. Valla must know what is
Yes.
going on. And frankly, I miss seeing Valla, and I want to go see Valla.
Yes, maybe we could snap her out of it as well. She might be caught in this whole trap as well. She might just need some words from us.
Oh, well, you need to be careful. I mean, if the humans see toys moving around, that's not a good thing. Mr. Callus might lock you up. They might think that you're possessed by that magic stuff that people keep talking about in whispers.
Magic? Yes. It's normal stuff. What do you mean?
Oh, no.
Yeah, look. I'll try and conjure some dancing lights.
Doesn't work.
See, we can't do it in these forms, damn it.
Oh,
They've nullified
I've heard
our
Mr.
powers.
Callus. They say that some strange red lights been appearing over the city, and people have been having these strange abilities. He's supposed to be looking into it as the chief of police, but you know, we've all heard him kind of talking about it in dark tones. If he thinks that you're possessed by that red magic, I worry what he'll think of you. You should pretend to be toys. Don't let the humans see that we can move and think.
Okay, thank you for the advice. Appreciate it. Are we throwing Nova's bits and bobs up the top then?
Yes.
Please do.
On
Sana,
it.
If you
Yeah.
want to make a distraction, carry me around and squeak me as you run.
All right, and she picks you up in her big boxing glove forms, and it's like, right, okay, Rosalina, you batten down the hatches here in the inn. I'll take. I guess it would just be called like I guess you'd just be called Quill. I think your brand would just be like Quill the owl or something like that, or Quill the hawk, not the owl,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
hawk.
sure.
Plush Quill. And she's like, all right, here we go, and she picks him up and she kind of squeezes through the
Quill?
door. Hug a Quill, perfect. Hug a Quill.
Get squeaking, get flumping.
Yes.
It's Hug a Quill.
She just sort of like hops and bounces, and you can see she's kind of got like the hop and bounce of a rabbit as you begin to, and she starts calling out like, hey, soldier guys, and then she's like, come on, Quill, shout out to them as well. And you see a few of these little Warhammer soldiers kind of turn around, looking down from the desk and from the chest of drawers, like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be outside of your house or your chest. Mr. Callus will get them." And then they, like little stormtroopers, they start like trying to chase after you, but they're not as quick as Sana, so they kind of have to like waddle around on their little round bases, chasing after her as she kind of keeps a bunch of them distracted. Meanwhile, Ayla and Nova and the rest of you guys manage to kind of make your way up, and yeah, looking up, you can see that there's like a little short chair, and then there's a desk with papers and books and things on it, and Tiangong is on the corner of the desk in a few pieces.
Come on
Can
then,
I-
punt me.
Yeet Nova towards Tiangong, please.
You're gonna have to break Nova down. So you're gonna send like head first, or like body first, or
Head
legs
first.
first.
Head
Head
first.
Okay. So you pull
Yeah.
the head off. You get your arm, which is now spring loaded, and with a swift ka-tunk, the hand kind of launches her like a baseball. Make a, let's see here. I think this would probably be a perception check to get your aim right. You're like,
Okay. Oh
I'll go
dear.
behind the sofa, y'all.
That is 13.
13. It doesn't land next to Tiangong. Nova's head hits the side, and with its cylindrical shape kind of rolls a little bit, and you're kind of looking halfway sideways at Tiangong as your head comes to rest against a crayon. Next piece, Lucius or Sentry, you'll have to wind Ayla up. It is an action to wind up Ayla's back.
I'll help as best I can, yeah.
Yeah, you've seen. So Lucius, out of everybody, you've got the most movements because, like, you actually
Have
have
I?
fingers that you can move. Yeah.
Oh, I've got
everybody
little
else has
fingers.
hands. Yeah, you've actually got like fingers. Everybody else has like toy hands like this, whereas you actually have like.
I
He
assume
doesn't
I don't
have
have
elbows,
elbows, though.
so he's
Yeah.
got to just.
You don't have elbows, no. So you're like, you can do this, but you have to like.
All right, yeah, I'll start winding.
Okay, so between
Amazing.
Sentry, you wind up Ayla's back. What's the next piece? Torso or legs?
Torso. Why not?
Okay, another perception check.
Oh, 21.
21. This time, the torso and the arms land next to the brick pile. They actually kind of almost like collapse into them, and they scatter up against these blue and black pieces, part of the wing where it says Tiangong. And you hear Tiangong Nova in your mind, just like, Nova Vija, I believe that your arms and body have landed next to mine.
Oh, what a wonderful...
I do require
Great aim,
considerable
Ayla.
assembly.
Don't worry about that.
So
Can I start trying to put myself...
Yeah, so you're kind of looking yourself sideways, so it's going to take longer than you would expect. Do you want the body can crawl over to you to pick up your head, or do you want to start building Tiangong?
Can I start putting myself... Can I start having my hands and legs coming toward, like... Yeah, me
Well, your legs
first
aren't
and
up there
then
yet.
Tiangong.
Yeah.
Legs aren't there
okay.
yet.
So
Oh, my legs aren't
torso
up there.
and No,
Okay.
your torso and
Yeah.
hands begin crawling over towards your head to try and pick you up. As Lucius and Sentry begin winding up Ayla's back for the third run, Quill, you see the soldiers that have been pursuing you. You're going to need to keep their attention on you to avoid them spotting Ayla lobbing Nova parts up to the desk. What do you want to do?
Sana, there's too many of them, and they're starting to turn away. Sana, bowl me.
Okay, and she just turns around and she's like, "Okay, you ready for this?" Right,
Here I
and then she
come!
will. Basically, she probably won't be able to bowl you as much as she's going to throw you like a boulder at them to try and like roll you towards them. That's a natural 20. So she lobs you with these big boxing glove fists and just turns around and throws you. And like a rolling stuffed toy, you just like the boulder from Indiana Jones. All of these soldiers turn around and go like, "Retreat! Retreat!" And they try and wobble their way back as you just kind of roll over their entire bodies. Some of them kind of get stuck into you.
Yes.
One of them snaps off of his base, and you just hear a "Sarge, my legs! I can't feel my legs!" And yeah, very, very easily distracted for the time being. Ayla, you got one more throw to get the legs up there. Go for it. Give me a perception check.
13 plus 6.
Oh yeah, with that, the legs
19.
woof, land perfectly on the desk. No risk of anything flying off the edges or going too far. And yeah, together, Nova, you managed to reassemble yourself and make your way over to the pieces of your rocket, Tiangong. And yeah, you can look at it. You can build Tiangong. You have the ability there. You can actually build Tiangong into almost any object or vehicle that you desire, as long as it remains in roughly the same size. So kind of like a one-person vehicle, basically. You could turn Tiangong into a ladder. You could turn Tiangong into like a little bridge. There are wheels. There are like all sorts of like little bits and pieces that you can put together. Very Lego movie.
If Brickmaster movie.
Brickmaster Builder. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Non-copyright.
if I was a Brickmaster builder, can I Brickmaster Tiangong into a spaceship, and would Brickmaster spaceship Tiangong fly?
It wouldn't fly. I mean, you are still toys. Like,
Okay.
you have magic sentience, but you are 100% toys. Like, you can't fly, you can't cast magic spells. You could put wheels on the bottom of Tiangong and drive around, but you can't fly in the air. You could try and Buzz Lightyear glide. You could try and fall with style,
Yeah.
and hope that the wings give you enough of a kind of gliding action to take you down.
Actually, yeah. Can
That's
I
what you wanna
turn it
try?
into a Tiangong glider and glide down to rejoin
Sure.
everybody else?
Sure. So let's see how good of a Brickmaster builder you are. This is just a. This will be. Let's make it Arcana, like knowledge of
Ooh,
like putting things
Arcana.
together and stuff. Yeah.
+7, y'all. Okay. Roll,
Man.
Just remember, this is
roll.
Brickmaster. It's not the other product. So the wings are actually like plastic wings that can have like air catch under them, and it's not as heavy. Like you do think that this might be able to function as a glider.
Wow, superior product.
So I rolled a 14 +7 Arcana is 21.
So you begin picking up the first pieces, and like in your mind, like in Nova's little Brickmaster brain, we see like the kind of instructions lay out before, and it's like right,
Page by
and then
page.
suddenly it's like click, 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 and she guns like snapping the pieces too. And you hear Tiangong just like, yes, this is an acceptable. I recommend that you place this piece here. Like he's kind of helping you. They're kind of helping you, giving you instructions. And then eventually, after a few moments, after a minute of time, you end up with this kind of spaceship-like glider with like a little thing that you can sit in, wheels on the bottom, and with a little kind of shove and jumping in it. It will begin gliding its way down to the ground. It is not elegant. It is not paper plane, kind of like drifting. It like drops and then it just kind of catches the air underneath it and kind of skids to a halt, resting near the foot of the door out of Valla's room as it kind of whoosh slides down. Most of the Valkyrian tin soldiers retreat with their damaged comrades after the boulder quill crushes many of them. Sana, the ones that kind of linger behind, Sana follows up and just kicks them under the bed, basically.
How much of a horror is this? Like they're dragging their comrades along, like I can't feel anything.
I mean, have you ever seen like a little
Screaming.
warhammer that's like been snapped off of its base, but its legs have come loose instead? Like it's like, you know,
Yeah.
like the plastic's
Yeah,
broken
I'm
apart.
telling
That's
you.
what it's like. Yeah, and like they like as that's happened and he's being dragged away, he's just like, I can't feel my feet, Sarge. I'm never gonna fight again. He's like, you stay with me, soldier. We'll get you fixed up. Lord Callus will fix you. Don't worry. We've got the medic gel back in HQ, and they're like dragging him back, and you can see like a
All
pot
of
of
these-
super glue under the bed.
Are all of these like exquisitely painted as well?
Yeah. They're like beautifully painted Warhammer.
Is there one that Valla painted? And it's just like this dumb soldier.
No, you don't see one. You don't see one. Not here.
Okay.
But that's not to say there isn't.
All right. All right.
Ah, cool.
Just revealing that
Yeah.
plastic white where the snap is.
Yeah, it's like the grey plastic, underneath
Yeah.
where the snap is.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
But yeah.
running towards where Nova and Tiangong spaceship landed.
Yeah, so they've landed right by the big door, and you can see it's this huge human-sized door with like a handle. There is a tiny gap, maybe sort of half an inch gap under the door itself, with a little draft coming through, and you can hear the sounds of like heavy footsteps coming and going and things like that. And yeah, you emerge. The group of you meet by the door leading out of Vala's room. What's the plan?
I'll wait for everyone to catch up, I guess. Or do we all catch up?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Unless there's plans. Unless anybody wants to do anything differently.
We have to be careful from here on out. It's the wider world. We have Maximilian, by the sounds of it, right-hand man to Starbane himself, and Zalkira, a snake. We don't know how big that's going to be.
Well, a snake in his office, though.
True.
What about the red star thing causing magic? Maybe that'll be a way to reverse the magic. I don't know. The red
Red?
lights, I mean, not red star. Oh wait, you're right.
Anything
I think
red?
we should find
Bad idea.
Vala. Where do you think
True.
she would be? Would she be in Starbane's office studying?
Interesting question.
Okay. So, all right. Well, how do we get through the door and not get eaten by Maximilian Taldros, the dog?
We have to be incognito.
sharp.
Yes. Or maybe find a way to get higher up again. But I assume this doesn't fly? Tiangong? It didn't seem like it flew when it did that maneuver a moment ago.
Kind of just fell.
We can glide. We can fall with style, Quill. Thank you. Nice boulder work, by the way.
Thank you.
Saw you get a strike there. Very proud.
I don't know what that is.
Can you make a ladder to the door handle? We need to get to the door handle, right?
Oh.
We need to
I can use the
open
hair.
handle.
Can we not
Good.
all fit underneath?
Sentry,
No.
Ayla, and Lucius won't fit. I think that if you took Tiangong out piece by piece, Nova, you and Tiangong could squeeze under it, and Quill looks like he could be stuffed through it by force. If somebody like squished him, like he could fit under it. But yeah, Ayla, Sentry, and Lucius are all a bit too big. They're going to need the door open to get through.
Yes, we'll need to open it.
Okay, I
You
guess. Yeah, can I make Tiangong create a ladder and then climb up to the door handle?
Yeah, and I think like if again it's kind of like a teamwork thing, right? Like Lucius being taller, if he puts Sentry, or like if Sentry holds the ladder up and Ayla climbs up it and then holds Lucius up, Lucius can reach the handle and sort of pull it down. Kind of
I think
the
I'll
group
use-
of you working together.
I'll ask Sentry for that torn off piece of hair and form it into a sling, and then try and
Sure.
throw it over the handle, and then
Yeah, you
pull.
braid the hair. Because I think
Yeah.
Lucius would know how to like do a really nice braided
Yeah.
hair, right?
Yeah.
Like, he kind of makes like a kind of not like a whip, but like a kind of like like a little kind of lasso or something from braided hair, and then he can pull it down, and the door just
Everyone
opens
pull.
enough. You pull down, the door kind of handle goes down, and then it just kind of falls in a little bit, where you can pry it open and open the door wide enough to step out. Looking out, and I'll describe this before we take a quick break. Looking out, you look into a beautiful, almost palatial hallway. Chandeliers of glimmering crystals line the ceiling. You can see that the walls are a kind of deep, dark wood paneling. There is a thick red plush carpet that runs through the whole way, and it is bustling. Servants and guards and aides are constantly coming and going. They seem to be carrying like plates of like food to be prepared or to be cooked, decorations. They're stringing up these kind of like twisted vines with little glass ornaments and decorations, snowflakes. All along the ceiling, there are these bright colored ornaments. They seem to be carrying all sorts of different decorations, constantly coming and going. Being so small, they don't take any immediate notice to you, but if you do anything to draw attention to yourselves, they will definitely notice. But for the time being, they're too preoccupied in their giant goings on that they do not notice a couple of toys standing by the door leading out of Vala's room. And yeah, we will take a break there, I believe.
Okay.
Now that you've
Holy
escaped
crap.
Vala's bedroom. I hope
this
you
one
can see
shot.
now why I didn't want to tell you what
Yeah.
we would be doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
This is inspired.
I just-
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realised as well, you sent us a text message in the group text chat before this going, think outside of the box. And I don't know if you intentionally meant that because we literally started
course
in
I
a
did.
box.
Of course I did, Jen. Of course I did.
I
always
so
have- I always-
badly.
He
all
also
very
said
fine.
that he came up with this last night, so I feel like Mark was sitting last night and just went, "Ah!"
It was,
Guys.
I will tell you exactly. Nina and I went to the shops, and on the way to the shops, I saw an advert for Toy Story 4, and I was like,
it is.
Just
Eureka!
there it is, a plan.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Nice.
I just thought it'd be fun. I had like the image of Ayla the action figure and Lucius the Barbie doll first, and then everybody else I kind of found something
Fell
to
in.
fit. But those
Yeah.
two were the ones that I was like, that'd be kind of funny and amazing. So, but anyway,
It
we will
all
come back
works
to this in a
really
minute. You guys go
well.
take a break. I've got the donations. I was going to read some of these out while you guys all go have a break. I've got a drink. I'm
Nice.
fine. I don't need a break.
Okey-dokey.
But yeah, we're going to take a
See you
quick
in a bit.
break. And again, I want to say a big, huge, humongous thank you to Recall, who donated £10,000 to the Mental Health Foundation. Recall, you've also been giving £1,000 every day of the Jingle Jam. I don't know what you do for a living, but thank you for being super generous with your money and helping good causes. Sathrin as well, thank you so much. £2,500. That's insane. Thank you so much. I want to read your message out. I've been watching High Rollers for a while now. First introduced to it by Jingle Jam Christmas special, and it's what got me into D&D, which has helped me make new friends, been a great help over this rather unusual year, hasn't it just? Now I'd like the chance to give back. Well, thank you for giving back to good causes, Sathrin, as well. Thank you. Phoenix Willow, £250 to Special Effect. Thanks all of you beautiful people. Thanks for all you beautiful people do every year. This Jingle Jam has been incredible, and the charity supported even more so. Seeing the community come together to donate so much every year, it's been amazing. Thank you so much, Phoenix Willow, for your generous donation. £200 from Pio Alind. Thank you, High Rollers. Been watching for a long time and just want to let you know you're great. Also, may I request Trot say Mon Petite Fleur in the most foppish French accent possible. Thanks for everything. When he gets back, I will request that. Pio, thank you so much. Flying Scotsman, £150. Set aside a little money this year to help out people that need it more than me. Wanted to donate it during my favorite stream. Thanks so much for all you do. Well, thank you very much, Flying Scotsman. That was to the National Video Game Museum. Thank you so much. Arshiel, thank you very much for your hundo. My first ever hundo goes to the Mental Health Foundation via the amazing High Rollers. Having had a solid job in the pharmaceutical industry for the last year, I have the funds to spare, and it's the least I can do for all the hard work you and the other Yogs do all year. Love from Sweden. Arshiel, thank you so much. That's super generous of you and much appreciated. Oberoth, thank you so much for your hundo. Thank you all for the bright lights in these dark times. Suffering from depression myself, the past, I value people and charities who help those that suffer mental health issues. Have a happy holes all. Thank you very much, Oberoth, donating to Safe in Our World. Thank you very much. Isn't that just the case as well? John Ater, thank you for the 100, but no message. Thank you very much. George King, thank you very much for the 100, but no message as well. Ryan B, 100 dono from Ryan B. High Rollers always comforts me when I'm low. Thank you all for your support of mental health. Let's hit the dono target. Let us do that. What are we at the moment? We're currently at 1.908. Man, I tell you what, if we can get another 2, it's about 1.5. If we can get that to 1.920, I will be amazed, and I will definitely chip in my own hundo if we can hit that mark as well. I mean, I'll probably do it anyway, but do it anyway. Buttons, 94. It's almost a hundo. A £1 done donation for every done of Aerois so far. Keep rolling and jingling those jams. 94 episodes. Thank you so much, Buttons. That was to Access Sport. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Aerozima, $55, pounds, I should say. The Jingle Jam is such a great drive every year. The D&D special is super fun as well. Thanks for all you do. Thank you very much, Arizima. £55 from Johoe. Dear Yogscast, I always look forward to the Jingle Jam. It's one of the best times of the year. Each time the fundraising is even more professional. I was even going to get a credit card, something unnecessary for me because of this donation. Sadly, it will be too late, and found someone willing to help. Well, Joey, thank you very much for your generous donation to War Child. Please don't, again, this is something I try and say in any streams. If you don't have the money to donate right now, please don't worry about it. There's going to be other years for the Jingle Jam. There's going to be other ways to support charity. Look after yourselves first. Make sure you look after yourselves and then support others as best you can. Trot, there was a request from somebody who donated £200. They said, could Trot please say Mon Petite Fleur in the most foppish French accent possible?
Mon Petit Fleur?
Okay. There you go. I hope that was worth it. Wee.
Wee.
I will read out a couple more if that's cool. Leo donated to Special Effect. Usually wait and donate to Jingle Jam on my birthday, but since it's finishing early this year, I thought I'd donate during my favorite D&D squad instead. Mark, you're an inspiration. Thank you very much, Leo, for your donation. £50 from Used Apes. I always enjoyed the Jingle Jam, and now that I have an income for the first time, I wanted to donate as well. What you're doing is great. Keep it up. Big fan. Thank you, Used Apes. Shahan donated £50. Great streaming efforts, raising loads of money for the past few years. Been watching since the old Tekkit and Shadow of Israfel days. Always can't wait for the YouTube uploads. Keep up the great work, guys. Well, thank you very much. Braders01, £50. Happy to donate some money to my fellow ILGA people. Love you guys. Watching in my new HR Christmas jumper. And then one more, and then there's a lot more to read, but we're not going to be able to get through them all. Dexter Rabbit also donated £50. Thank you, Yogscast and High Rollers, for all you do for charity. Having a wonderful holiday season and stay safe. Thank you for bringing laughs and smiles to everyone when they need it most. Thank you all very much for your donations. And look at that. We're nearly at 1910. We're at 1909. Another £1,000. Another £1,000, and we'll be at 1910. Whoa! Let's do it.
I think we can do that.
Raise
Today.
that
Well
fun,
done, everyone.
Easy.
Well
amazing.
done.
It's amazing to get a nice big burst in the last 2 days of the Jingle Jam. Like, man,
Ooh,
let's
Love a
get as
big
much as
burst.
we can in the next couple of days.
'Cause
Lovely burst.
We've only got
Lovely
today and
burst.
tomorrow, haven't we?
Just today and tomorrow for
yeah.
Jingle Jam. Yeah,
Yeah,
get your
that's
bundles
today
while you
tomorrow.
can. Get your bundles
Yeah.
while you can.
So yeah.
And thank you to any of those who are our regular viewers who waited until just
Mm.
now and donated during.
That's
Yeah.
very sweet.
It's
Thank you
so
very
nice
much.
of you.
Yeah, thank
Thank you very much, everyone.
Amazing. Right. Well, with that little breaky over, let us return to the madness that is this little, special one shot. You all currently are stood at the door, the gigantic human-sized door that leads out of Valla's bedroom and into the rest of this seemingly palace that you seem to be in. Your miniature toy forms, all of you changed into these toys, look around and you see a bustling hallway full of servants and guards coming going, preparing the palace for some sort of celebration. And yeah, what my question is, my dear friends, what would you like to do? You can see the hallway goes left and right. Down one side of the hallway, it seems to curve, and there is a banister that seems to look down into other rooms below as well. On the other side of this hallway, across the open spaces where you can see down into rooms below, there does appear to be a stairway leading down, as well as large rooms. You get the sense maybe one of the rooms looks like a large library. The other rooms look to be closed off with doors and, like locked doors and things like that.
Maybe
What
we
would you
need
like to
somebody
do?
to scout ahead.
Yes, good idea. You don't have echo
can-
in this form, do you?
I don't think so. Hang on, let me try. And as I try, I then turn into my elk form instead.
So you watch as Sentry kind of concentrates. You watch as pieces of Sentry fold into herself in this kind of weird grinding
Sentry, no!
noise.
She's
She
dying!
transforms into a elegant elk form, like a larger elk form made of metal, still looking like Sentry, but it looks like Elko as well. It's like a mixture of the two. As you just kind of find yourself on 4 legs, feeling a little bit strange, Sentry. You no longer have hands.
This is
There
not what
were-
I expected.
No, there were many things I expected to happen. This was not one of them.
It's kind of fun though. I like it.
I think I can carry two of you. Perhaps
Yeah, there's
I might have
definitely
the
space
strength
for you
to do
to
it.
ride.
Okay, and what about Tiangong? Is Tiangong motorized at all? Like, can it move on its own?
I think that he can move wheels, so he can spin wheels to move, but it's not particularly fast. So he has like small amounts of control over like any moving parts, which is the wheels, basically.
I have an idea. What if we create a cart out of Tiangong and attach it to Elko? And then we can ride, whoever
Using-
isn't on the back of Elko can be in the cart.
And we can use your magic hair
For
to
what?
attach the cart to Elko.
I suppose you can use the detached bit, yes, that I've braided. Don't ruin the
I'm-
braiding, that was fine work.
I'm
It is
pretty
lovely braiding, it's very
wide,
good.
guys. I might take up too much space. If you want to I'll hold on to some more Lucia's hair and just trail behind if you want. Bounce along behind you.
You can hop on
I'm
my
sure you'll
back, Will.
fit.
That'll be fine. We can
I
tie
can
you
like
on.
hold
You're
you
very
out
light.
to the side. I can hold you out to the side. You weigh nothing.
Yeah, like Ayla, if you pick him
Can't
up, he weighs
guarantee
nothing.
that I won't. I can't guarantee that I won't occasionally just go, just to
No,
see
no
the bounce.
squeaks. We need to get through
Stealth.
this corridor. Stealthy.
Oh,
Stealthily.
Speed
boring.
and
Squeaks.
quietness, yes.
And aggression. Well, maybe
Ayla,
not
do you
aggression.
really want to get eaten by a giant dog?
I could take it.
I have another idea. I have so many ideas coming to me right now. Right, so if we have any spare piece of Tiangong left, how about we make a long pole, we put your head on the end so that you can look out around the corner and see if anyone's coming, and then we can ride forward.
I love that
Ah.
idea. I love it.
Do you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let's do it.
As a point,
Awesome.
Nova, things like your head and your body can connect to pieces of Tiangong as well. like a brick master, you can stick your head onto like one of the little pegs and your body onto the little pegs as well. But obviously, if it's too much weight, your legs can't move with it. So if you put the whole Tiangong and your legs on the bottom, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Little legs just pushing
So
it
you could
along.
like put your head on the front of the wagon and then keep your like body at the back or whatever. Yeah.
That would save a lot of space.
Let's do that. Let's do
Sure.
it. Let's think outside the box.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to build Tiangong into some sort of like wagon that you can then tie to Sentinel Sentry, there's not too much left to create like a very long pole, but you can definitely create some sort of device to kind of stick Nova's head out a bit further than normal, and definitely kind of get
Like a
bonus
figurehead.
to sight.
Yeah.
Like a figurehead. Yeah. Ayla can ride on Elko and then hold you out like a lance, and then you'll be at the front of everybody and see anything coming first.
So disturbing to think about.
Yes, I want to do that.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm in.
So this doesn't take very long. It takes about a minute for Nova to build Wagon Tiangong. With Lucius's hair, you can hitch it all up to transform Sentry, and yeah, you have a corridor which is quite long for your this is going to be a little trip. It's quite long for your little tiny toy bodies. But people are constantly coming and going, and that's your biggest risk. You're going to have to avoid them from stepping on you. You're going to have to avoid their notice by kind of hiding under things, and also keeping a lookout for any signs of where Valla may be as well. So really, this is going to be a bit of a skill challenge where I'm going to kind of leave it over to you guys, and you tell me what skills or actions you want to take. We'll roll some dice, and then we'll see how successful you guys are.
Okay.
All right.
So feel free to take it in goes. I'm going to rescue one of my dice that fell on the floor.
Sure.
I'm back.
I mean, I'll go with the old classic Quill lookout. I'll try and perceive as much I can as we're riding along
Sure.
down this way.
Okay, give me a perception check. Yeah. So you begin making your way through the corridor, kind of like weaving between these giant legs of these like guards, like armored legs and bodies of these servants as they're making their way down the corridors as the cart begins to. Oh God! Somebody's
Okay.
made
Oh,
it already.
wow.
Somebody's done fan art already.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wait,
Well, I've
where?
got a plus 10. I've got a plus 10 to perception, so I've got 12.
Does
Wow.
Nova, does Nova's disembodied figurehead help?
Well, this is Quill. Quill's attempting to make a perception check to start with. Quill, your little kind of stuffed body, it's quite hard to turn your neck around. You kind of have to turn your whole body because you don't have individual neck muscles.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult to kind of get a view on what's going around you. And it's all happening so fast and everything's so big. You don't really get a sense of what's going on. And trying to guide the sentry to find the location, you kind of haphazardly have them doubling back on themselves, like, oh, I missed something, go back. Was that? No, it wasn't Valla. It's just, it seems to be like a bathroom or something. And then you have to go back on the trail, and it kind of costs you some time and puts you at risk. So that's a failure, I'm afraid. Nova, if you want to try the same thing, Quill's already used perception, but if you wanted to try and use like a different skill, you could try and use that. But you will get a benefit potentially. Otherwise, it's just going to be a survival. Because it'll be like a tracking.
On a stick, yo.
You are. You could use like your knowledge of like history to be like, oh, is this palace like any of the palaces back in Aerois? Like, could I know the layout of it to help guide us around or something like that if you wanted to?
Yeah, let's do that. So history plus 7. That's tasty. Yummy, yummy.
Sure.
I roll my dice. I rolled a 16 plus 7. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Okay, so thinking about it, you're like, well, okay, Vala's based all the toys off of you guys and the people that she's known. Even like the dress of some of the people around here does remind you a little bit of Aerois. She's clearly, or like whatever's happened is clearly using knowledge of actual real Aerois at work here. So you think about, okay, logically, where would things be? Based on this, down the corridor, and then if you hang a left, there's normally like a large library. That would probably make sense for like where Valla would be going to study if you wanted to try and find Valla directly. There would also be a downstairs, probably accessed via the stairs, which would lead out to the outside. There'll be like a foyer and a lounge and things like that. And then maybe Callus's office or study would be near the library, you imagine. But yeah, that's a success. That you can use that to kind of help guide the team.
I relay that to the team. Callus office this way, Valla potentially this way.
You kind of hint towards the library and how you're going to be able to reach that. Perfect. Okay. So Sentry, Ayla, or Lucius, what are you guys going to do to help contribute to this challenge?
I don't know if this would be the right thing, but I've got a nature skill. Can I try and figure out if the dog or the snake has been in the... can I try and see if I can track where
That's a
they
great
are?
idea. Rather than nature, I'd say that'd be survival, which I think you've got as well.
Oh,
I think
okay,
Ayla
I do have
has
survival. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's more tracking. Nature is more like, is this plant going to kill me? What kind of dog is this?
18,
Survival is more
21.
tracking.
I rolled a 15 plus 6, 21.
21. So as your little chariot, your little wagon being pulled by Sentry Elk is kind of weaving behind, in between people's legs. It's nearly kicked over at one point as you kind of duck and weave. Ayla, you get the sense you pick up very coarse dog, black and red hairs have left a trail in the direction of the library where you're currently heading towards. You get the sense that the dog has probably gone in that way. You don't see any scales for the snake here though, but the Max the dog has definitely been around these hallways. Looks like on a regular basis, for sure.
I will tell the group that.
Okay.
Dog may be in the library.
Sentry and Lucius, before you guys take your turn, I need somebody. This is probably best being either Nova or Sentry, because you are the ones either controlling Tiangong or pulling the wagon. This corridor suddenly becomes extremely busy as there is a flurry of activity from one of the far rooms, as a gaggle of servants all carrying beautiful new bed sheets and coverings and decorations hastily begin making their way down the corridor. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity check to try and avoid them.
Okay.
Unless somebody else has something else, unless somebody has I've got an idea, can we do this instead? Then by all means.
My idea for me, Lucius, is to keep the cart on Elko by reinforcing the braid and basically ensuring that no one gets left behind. I'm like an extra bomb.
Sure. Okay, for that, let's probably make that... What kind of check would that
I can
be?
just give someone an advantage or an aid, maybe.
Yeah, you could just be a helping aid, another action. Yeah. Sure. Okay, well, we'll do this for Sentry's roll then. So you have advantage on this roll, Sentry, as Lucius is kind of reinforcing the wagon to make sure that it doesn't become separated.
I'll keep a lookout as well.
17 on the first one. 3 on the last one. Yeah, so 17.
17. Yeah, you manage to kind of, you see along this corridor, there's a little unit, a little display unit, and seeing this group of humans, these giant towering figures making their way down the corridor, you duck and manage to kind of pull yourself and the wagon underneath the display cabinet, just in time for them to pass, not noticing any of you guys, and then you continue going down the hallway on your path. Still a little ways to go, and you're going to need to make a turn coming up soon. You do begin to hear the sounds of kind of stomping heavy guard footsteps, armored boots. What do you guys want to do? Any other ideas from anyone else?
I think for Sentry's thing, she was going to look for shadows, the shadows of people walking, and trying to weave and try and anticipate where they're going to be coming from, where the people will be coming from.
Okay.
To try and
You know what kind of check that sounds like to me, Rhiannon Gower?
Yeah.
It's a stealth check.
Oh,
the paladin does stealth. Here we go.
However, you're going to have disadvantage this time because you're not wearing heavy armor. So maybe
heavy
it's
armor.
okay.
I got
She's the
a
embodiment of
17
heavy
again.
armor.
17. Okay. That is enough. So yeah, kind of sticking to the shadows, you manage to kind of anticipate people's movements, looking at their shadows on the ground, like where they're coming from, when they're coming up behind you, and you manage to use that to helpfully try and avoid what's going on. Gonna need one more skill success for you guys to arrive at your chosen destination.
How will Quill help?
Sure.
I mean,
Quill, what
Let's
you
go with
got?
Tom Hazel.
I mean, I failed the perception, and I am a flush. The best I can do is squeeze, and I'm light. I don't
if
know what to do.
Let's use your brain. It doesn't have to be
I-
against that. Just come up with some cool
what
idea.
about if I'm holding Quill, can I assist him in his perception by, like, because if he can't turn his head, can I
Turning him.
assist him somehow by physically turning him?
I think
Ayla.
that because
Hey, look, throw me up, and I'll get a view of the room. Then catch me again.
so you have
Oh
to
my
throw him
God.
forwards, so that as the wagon goes, it kind of catches up. You can try that. Sure. So if you make a athletics check, Ayla, and then yeah, Tom, you can retry perception.
This
Okay.
might not go very well.
I mean, Tom gets to retry the perception no
I-
matter what.
No!
It's
I
whether
rolled
Ayla-
terribly. I rolled a 6.
Okay, there you go.
Six.
That's okay. I got 29 on perception this time.
Whoa!
Okay,
I'm
There
coming
There
back,
it is.
buddy.
So as
Whoa,
the
there it
little,
is.
it's basically you guys have a chariot at this point because you've got like Elko pulling it and then like a little chariot wagon behind Elko, with a lanced Ayla with Nova's head on the end of a stick of Brickmaster stick. You kind of turn the corner. Ayla with a spring-loaded arm launches Quill ahead as Sentry tries to catch him. You sail through the air, Quill, and you see. Ahead of you, the kind of wall opens up on the far corridor. As it turns, it opens up and reveals a beautiful library with kind of tall wooden bookshelves and writing desks, huge large windows that stare out onto beautiful palace gardens, and you can see a very kind of stressed looking young Valla working at like books in homework. Callus sat opposite her, kind of pointing at things in the book as helping her study and things like that. And you can see that like they're studying there, and you're like, oh, there she is. You kind of call out to the others. And as you land, Ayla's aim has been a little bit off. And as the Elko wagon, it kind of careens past, you just thump into the ground and let out a very loud squeak as you hit the ground. You don't take damage because you're light and soft and you're thingy. However, that squeak draws the attention. As rounding the corner from the library, just as the wagon kind of ducks into the shadows as Sentry was trying to keep it hidden, a very large Doberman-esque black and red dog with a big kind of metal collar with Max written on it kind of comes around the corner looking curiously and drooling, and it hears the squeak, and you see its ears kind of pick up and its eyes go wide as it bounds over towards stuffed Quill to try and pick you up.
No. Is there like a cabinet or something, like something small I can squeeze into?
Sure, you can make an attempt to. Yeah, absolutely. Like there's like maybe like a little armoire, so like a kind of like a little display cabinet. Yeah, and you can try and squeeze under that.
You guys carry on, and I'll squeak as I squeeze into the underside of this thing.
You hear just like Max begins barking and like pawing at it, trying to get it. His tail is wagging vigorously as he's just like and like drooling on the floor. And you hear the sounds of footsteps coming from the library. Max, what is it? What are you barking at?
We need to go. We need
What
to
do
hide.
you get to?
Yeah.
Take
Can
us somewhere
we
quiet.
go? Like while Callus is distracted, can we go
You can
into
go
the
into the
library?
library. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you guys make your way in and manage to hide yourself behind one of the bookshelves. You kind of manage to just got off in time and peek around the corner as you see Callus kind of emerge from the library, looking back to Valla once, and then he emerges, looks at Max like, "What are you doing, boy? What is that you've got there?" And he bends down to see what's under the armoire.
Can I like try and go if the back of the armoire is like away from the wall? I almost want to kind of try and shimmy up the inside of the wall and the armoire while squeezed
Give me
in half.
give me an athletics check or a strength check on that, Tom Hazel.
Okay. Athletics I don't have, so strength I rolled a 0.
So you're like, you're trying to lift yourself up, but you just don't have enough strength in your little soft plush body to pull yourself up. You see this giant, like very soft purple eye and long black hair peer down, and Callus kind of looks. He's like, "I'm sure I put you away in Vala's toy chest." And the hand reaches in and grabs hold of you and begins pulling you free.
Yeah, I'll go inanimate then, so I'm just indistinguishable.
So yeah, you basically, as long as you don't move, you are indistinguishable from a real toy. He picks you up and looks at you, and you see Max like wagging his tail, looking up expectantly. He's just like, "No, Max, it's not for you. It's not your toy." And he kind of, he puts it in like his pocket. He's just like, and yeah, begin making his way back to Valla as he puts you in his pocket, and you're in this dark black pocket being jostled around. The rest of you see Quill being picked up and taken in. The rest of you, as you watch Callus, he returns to Valla. I know, I've just seen it as well. I feel like Plushy Quill is going to become like a new meme for High Roll.
Well, fan art already. That's insane.
Onalga, thank you.
Cute.
And Wolfie, thank you for the previous one.
One. New merch item for 2021, everyone. Plushy Quill.
There we go. Hug me, Quill.
Hug me, Quill.
Abby's gonna kill you for saying that.
Cuddle
Now.
Quill.
Abby's
I
gonna
can't
kill you. She's gonna be
believe
like,
we
Mark, we
missed-
can't make that.
I bet we
We
can.
missed
I
the
bet
most
we
obvious one though, and that's Build-A-Bird.
Nice.
Build-A-Bird! Build-A-Bird Quill!
Build-A-Bird.
That's it. It's probably a bit copyright.
Oh.
A little bit.
But still.
It's fine.
Yeah, the rest of you
Real
watch
cute.
as Callus returns with Quill in his pocket. You kind of hear like the muttered conversation. Vala's just like, I don't want to do all of this, Father. It's boring. I don't want to do any studying anymore. And Callus is just like, Valla, you know that you have to do this. Your mother will be very disappointed if you've not progressed in your studies. We need to make sure that you're ready to inherit the crown. She's like, I don't want to. I want to play with my friends and have fun. Now, Valla, and he kind of gets a more sterner sort of thing, just like, that is not how we speak to me or to anyone else. You are the crown princess, and you have responsibilities. You need to inherit your mother's legacy. None of this, no more games. And if you're not careful, I'll lock up the toys, and you won't be able to play with them until you complete the studies. And you get a very loud thump on the desk. You get, like, Mother would let me play with them. Why isn't she here? Why is it always you? I hate you. And then she storms off out of the library aggressively. And you see her kind of making her way to the stairs and heading down. And you just watch as Callus just kind of lets out a long sigh. He sits down at the desk, and he kind of just like rubs his face with a hand. I am trying so hard to do this. I'm a general. I'm not a... Why have you left me here to deal with this? You know I'm not good with her. And he just kind of like rubs his hands in his face for a moment and sits quietly for a second. I'm not ready for this. He just gets up and makes his way towards his office with Quill still in his pocket.
Quill.
Damn.
How are we going to get him back?
The snake's in there, so just go find the snake and, try not to get eaten.
You guys can follow behind if you wish. It doesn't seem like his office is very far from the library. You see him pull out a key, unlock the door, open it, and begin making his way inside.
We need to get in there. Come on. I'll usher everyone to try and squeak in before he close the door.
Ride, Sentry! Let's ride!
Sorry, Sentry, I forgot it's you. I'm so sorry.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's okay.
As the little
Tiangong is
chariot
also
kind of
sentient.
wheels down the road. Yeah, Tiangong
I
is
know,
just
so
wheeling
far
behind
away.
like a little chariot. Quill, from your perspective, you kind of hear like muffled noises, and then a hand pulls you out of the pocket and rests you on a table. You can see the table is covered in maps and books with all sorts of annotations and markings. You can read things like another sighting, strange red light, people possessed, need to figure this out. Something's wrong in the country. Don't want to worry her, and things like that. All kind of like spread around. You can see that there is a beautiful map of a world that you don't quite recognize. You can see tickets to some sort of play, like a theater bill or something that's been pinned to a board. There's also a little leaflet, like an advert for a toy company. It features a very happy-looking dwarf man in a cowboy hat holding up what looks to be like Lucius's sister Adea, and he's painting on her face. And the title of the toy company is called Dagos Toys. And you see like a little happy dwarf is making the toys.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of like memorabilia around. You can see like a suit of armor on like a stand, like a very kind of like a dress uniform armor set, swords, collectible weapons and things like that. And then probably the most horrifying thing in the entire room, one wall is dominated by a very large glass tank. There is like a broken tree branch and some foliage inside of it. Oh. It's enormous. And in the tank, you can spot, with your exceptionally good perception, there are pieces of broken toys.
Oh my God.
Scattered amongst like the dirt and the leaves and the wood, hidden, clearly like purposely hidden to avoid being found, but you can see them. And you just see these red eyes in the darkness of like a little brown hut, and a little tongue look out.
So it's looking at me, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and then Callus just seems to be shuffling papers. You hear him kind of just muttering to himself. He takes like another couple of deep sighs and then sort of smooths his face out. I can't leave things like this. She'll be home soon. And then he just gets up and goes to leave the office. Meanwhile, the rest of you, are you going to try and sneak in? Because it's going to be stealth checks from everybody. So dexterity or stealth if you have them.
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
I have no idea.
16.
16.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh. But Rhiannon's also rolling.
Right.
4.
4. Excellent.
9.
9.
I think mine's popped. I think it's
Reroll
popped.
Reroll it.
Reroll it.
It's an 8.
It's a good face.
Oh,
So this isn't that Callus spots you. It's that you, to avoid being spotted, you have to stop and hide. And in that time, Callus shuts the door and locks it.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
So we're locked in the room.
Outside of the
Out.
room.
Out of the room.
You are in the hallway. You see him just as you're about to get the door. He's about to come out and he's about to see you. You will press yourselves up against the wall and pause, which is enough time for him to shut the door and lock it with a key, put it back in his pocket, and then he begins making his way for the stairs heading down.
Once he's out of
and then he
range,
gets out of shot and you are left on your own.
just speak underneath the door. Quill, are you in there? You okay?
Zakira's in here! Big snake, really big snake. Eats toys! It eats
Can you
toys!
squeeze out? Can you squeeze under the door?
As you hear Lucius's voice, you begin to see this long, kind of black, purple, red scaled snake, a python, kind of begins making its way. And you do hear a voice kind of hissing out. What's this? Master has brought me another little gift to disappear. Slowly begins kind of pulling itself out of the tank.
Okay, I'll bounce and just leap off the desk.
You kind of float down, land with a soft thump. And yeah, you can see the door does have a small gap, but it's very tight, even for your soft form.
Oh God!
What are you guys
really?
gonna do?
Can I?
In fact, actually,
hurriedly...
Kim, before you do that, I think we should roll initiative. Don't you think?
Okay.
Okay,
What?
Okie dokie.
a little bit initiative.
I mean, I have stats for a constrictor snake.
Oh, nice.
So let me just do
Sure.
this.
Okay. Oh my God.
Snake. And
What is my initiative?
So it's just plus Dex, right?
Just plus
Is it plus
dex. Yeah,
dex?
it will just
Yeah.
be plus your dexterity this time. No extra bonuses.
Ooh, 14,
Lucius.
15, 16, 17.
18.
17 for Nova, 18 for Lucius. Flick.
I have a +2, so I got 3.
Nice.
Figure out what I
Ayla.
learned there.
Nice.
6.
6. Excellent. Sentry.
13.
13. I still have Johan, so we'll just ignore him for now in this. Well, Lucius, yeah, you hear this kind of faint hissing and Quill thump to the ground. What do you want to do?
How do we save him? I don't know what to do. Maybe if we go get Valla, or something like that. How far away is she? I'm just gonna hold. I have nothing to hold, actually. I'm just gonna panic.
I will
for this
hold
turn.
chromatic orb until fuck.
I've got nothing.
Well, yeah, you look up the door. There is a tiny gap under the door, but it's not big enough for pretty much anybody except something very flat and thin to go under. Quill won't be able to squish under it either. The door handle, the Sentry, Ayla, and Lucius could probably reach it if you kind of get on each other's shoulders. You could probably reach up to the door handle, but the problem is that there is a very classic key lock, like a very basic old medieval style key. Yeah, and that's got the door locked currently.
I turn to Nova. I'm like, maybe with some of your body bits, we could unlock the key from the inside.
That's
And
exactly
that's-
what I was thinking.
Okay, so
Shall
Lucius,
I,
that's your go. Is just coming up with a plan.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Do you want to get into like position? Do you want to just like kind of get yourself ready to lift somebody up or something?
Yeah, all be lifted up, and I'm also
Sure.
ready to, like, if Nova wants to hand me a body part, I can do that.
Sure. Okay. Nova.
I guess, could I instruct Tiangong? Like, if Tiangong turned into a ladder, would I reach the lock?
The ladder alone, no. You're going to need like Sentry and Lucius to lift you up because you can only form a ladder the same size he is as a spaceship, so it's not a very big ladder.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could definitely have him. You could try and build him into something like that to help, or anything else you want to really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I'll put myself. I'll ask Tiangong to form of the ladder. And then master brick it up. I don't know, brick master it up, that one. And get ready for someone to lift me or throw me into the lock.
Okay,
Into the
cool.
keyhole.
All right, Sentry.
I think Sentry would walk up to the door and just get us ready in case he wants to climb on her back. As an
Yeah, I think
elf,
you're going to be
so
the bottom because you're the heaviest. So
Yes.
yeah, like you kind of get
Yeah.
in position, ready to go. Okay.
Stand on my back.
The snake quill, it's still a distance away from you, but it is moving a lot faster than you think you probably could, as it begins kind of climbing down out of the tank, curling its way down the desk, looping itself through little handles, just like, yes, I
Why is
shall
the tank
enjoy
open?
using you as bedding.
I would be good betting, but no.
Slithering its way down. But that's going to be its full turn. It ends its turn within striking distance of you, though.
Oh my god.
Just like slithers its way down. Ayla.
Can I pick up Lucius and stand on Sentry to
Yeah,
get?
so you pick up Lucius, who's holding Nova,
Create
and then you
the-
stand up onto Thingy and lift them all up.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
with
do that.
Ayla's strength, no problem. You don't have to make a check. You are the strongest toy. And yeah, you lift everybody up, and Lucius and Nova, you manage to reach up to the keyhole itself.
Excellent. Do I have any part of Nova yet, or is it Nova fully assembled?
I think Nova's currently fully assembled.
Yeah.
But, or actually, no, you would still be broken down from like the head on the stick, right?
Oh, yeah. So I guess, yeah, you'd have to feed my body parts through.
What I'll do is I'll poke
Or stick me back
Nova's
together.
head on a stick into the key lock so that she can assess how to best unlock
Yeah.
it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
shove her
What do you
head
think?
in.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then Nova,
it's
you kind of
really
looking around.
dusty.
Make a just roll intelligence for me, Nova. So D20 plus intelligence.
Stick my head in there. I rolled a 16 plus intelligence, plus 2, 16, 17, 18.
So you're looking around. You think that your body parts aren't going to be enough. You're going to need some of Tiangong's parts, because you're going to basically need to wedge parts of the lock in place so they stay in place. And then once you've got all 3 of them locked in, that should basically open it, right? That should unlock it. But you're going to need some of Tiangong's parts as well. But you think you could do it. It's just going to take you a little bit of time. Meanwhile, Keelek, the snake is looming over you.
I mean, if I move, it's going to get like an attack of opportunity, right? Or is that a thing?
It will,
I don't know.
yeah. It is. It is indeed a thing.
What's my AC? Oh, good. I mean, if I was Quill, I would just try and, even though the bottom of the door is not wide enough, I would literally try and compress as much as I can and just scramble through this.
Scramble through as best you can.
Even if
Sure.
like a wing gets through.
Yeah, you've managed to get like maybe a leg and a wing like through it, but the rest of you, you're like, your button eye is like bulging against the gap. You're like, oh, like trying to pull yourself through, but it's just all stuck in place. But it will probably make you harder to hit. I will give you a bonus to AC if the snake tries to grab you or like constrict you or anything, because it can't get a good grip on you if it tries to like coil around you, because you're like half under the door now, or like at least a portion of you is under there. Lucius,
the bottom of the door. Sure.
Basically, yeah.
So at the moment, I'm shoving Nova on a stick in.
Yeah.
The hole. Are you finished? Can I pull you out now? Have you got a good assessment?
No, leave me here. I need bits of Tiangong. Don't pull me out.
What I'll do is, because hearing that, I know that she's going to have to deconstruct the ladder, which we're all kind of on right now, right? So what I'll do...
She was on, but she was the only one who was using
Oh, we're only stacked. Okay.
You've got Sentry, Ayla, Lucius, and then Nova's at the top kind of thing, and you're holding Nova up on the stick, so...
Can I, with my other hand, or am I using both hands to hold this pole?
I think you can just use one hand. Yeah, you've got fingers.
I'm going to do the old handle braided hair trick and loop it around ready to pull once the lock has been
yeah, so you've
turned.
kind of got that ready to go, and then you've got Nova with the stick as well. Okay,
Yeah.
Nova.
Can I summon bits of Tiangong?
Your body's next to Lucius, right? And your head's on the stick.
Yeah.
So your body can kind of climb up the stick and then pull bits off the ladder and start wedging them in place. And as it does so, like little Nova's body kind of like Mission Impossible climbs along the stick next to your head, drops down, starts pulling up like pieces of like flat pieces of spaceship, wedges them in place, wedges them. And you all do hear like a faint click. As the last piece is kind of locked into place. That's going to be your whole action, I think, is doing that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sentry.
Is it a pull or push door?
It is a push door, so it pushes inwards.
Okay, so can I put my head up against the door and get ready to help push the door when the lock
Sure. Yeah.
opens?
Like kind of charge it as the
brace.
elk.
Yeah.
Is Quill
Sounds
going to get like rolled and squished?
Maybe. Right now, Quill needs to worry because the Zarkira Snakeira, is going to try and grab him from beneath the door frame and try and get a grab on him. So you have bonus to cover, so you have +2 AC. Let's see if it hits. That is going to be a 16.
Oh no. Okay, go.
Does it grab you?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So you are grappled, Quill, as soft Build-A-Bird is pulled free from the little nook that you'd wedged yourself in. The snake kind of coils its body around you and pulls you free, and then nestles you in the middle of its body and begins to try and squeeze. However, because you are a soft toy, I am going to absolutely give you resistance to this damage, because you can only be crushed. Like, crushing you is very ineffective. So
Yeah. I think like a horror movie, before she grabs me, I'm kind of flapping a wing out to Sentry underneath the door, like, Sentry, pull me through!
You're pulled through.
Yeah.
So this would normally be 3 points of damage, halved to 1 point of damage.
Oh my god. Okay.
So are you
still
still
good.
conscious? Still not
good.
broken, I should say. So you're being
Still not
squished,
broken.
and your body becomes like long and thin as like your little eye begins to bulge again. As you hear the snake like, why are you not easy to break? It's like trying to squish you as best as it can, but you're just like being squeezed like a
Squeaking
tube.
away.
Squeak. Yeah, there is a big loud squeak as well. Ayla, what'd you do?
Can I? So the door's unlocked now. We heard the click,
Yes.
right? So it's
Yes,
just
yes,
that.
yeah,
Can I pull down on the braid that Lucius had wrapped?
Well, you could
on the
pull
handle?
Lucius down, and then Lucius
Yeah, I'll
would
do
pull
that.
the braid down. Yeah.
I'll do.
So you
I'll
just
just pull it down to open the door
Yeah.
and go, Cedric.
And the latch pulls down, and then Sentry, because you'd readied an action, you shove the door, and it pushes open, and you can now see into the office where you see this large snake has pulled poor stuffed Quill into her clutches and is currently constricting and wrapped around her. But yeah, the door is now open, and you can see Quill there.
Amazing.
What's this? More presents for me, yes. Keelek.
I mean, I'm just squeaking away.
You can try and
I'm
escape.
wondering.
You can try and escape.
I'm wondering if
it would
in
be-
the process of escaping, I also squeak just loud enough to get Maximilian back. That'll scare the
Well,
snake
I
off.
mean,
But it will also bring
sure,
a dog
you
in.
could. So, I mean, yeah, that's like the trade-off, right? Like, you can try and escape, and then maybe make like I don't know, like I guess you wouldn't even need to make a check. You just squeak as loud as you can to try and draw Max's attention.
I guess I'll try and escape at the same time, as I suppose.
Sure.
So-
Dex or strength. You can use either.
Dex it will be then. 6.
You do not manage to get yourself free as you try and
Don't
wriggle
like
and
this,
writhe,
guys.
but the grip is too strong. But you do. Are you going to let out like a loud squeak?
Yeah.
Okay.
The kind of squeak that is like the best for dogs.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
this loud squeak echoes through the chambers. Yeah, Lucius, what do you do? The door swings open. You're currently on Ayla's shoulders, holding Nova's head on a stick.
And where is the snake right now?
Right in the middle of the room. So like this small, it's like a little office study, and it's just on the floor, curled up around Quill's stuffed form.
I think I'll just action and shout Ayla to charge us forward, and I'm gonna put the Nova on a stick forward like a lance.
Sure. Yeah. Go for it. Okay. So when
Charge!
Ayla moves, you're gonna make an attack like you've got a lance on a horseback.
I'm
basically.
using Nova's head on a stick to attack.
But here's the thing. Lucius. You wanted to be a sky jouster when you were younger, right?
I did.
So you are actually trained
my-
and proficient in jousting.
It just comes
so-
instinctively.
Yeah, so consider, if you make that attack, consider your attack bonus +2, and you'll deal 1d3 of damage if you
Okay.
hit with it.
All right.
All right? Nova,
+2, 1d3. Okay.
your body is still in the lock. The door has swung away from your friends, and you're just dead. Like, your body is in there and can move, but it's miles away from the rest of your body.
And I guess Lucius has pulled my head out and is oh god,
Aiming you.
Nova's Nova's brother is a sky jouster, so she she recognizes the stance.
Well, Nova, do you want to like have Nova call out like help to Lucius, like left, Lucius, left, like right,
Yeah.
down. You could try and do that.
Screw it, yeah,
that would be the
why
help
not?
action. Right, so you give Lucius
If
advantage,
that's the help,
basically.
yeah. Can I also try and get my body to like come out of the lock, like, or is
Yeah,
that
your
too many
body would
things?
technically, like, your head is doing one thing, but your body can be doing another thing at the same time, I guess. Yeah.
That's OP.
Okay. So yeah, can my body just start climbing out of the lock? and
Climbing
just,
down?
like,
Sure.
try to- Yeah.
Make a strength check for me for the body to try and climb down.
Strength check. Oh, good. I've got lots of strength. I got -4 strength.
Yep.
So let's do a little
D20
a
minus
little
4.
roll. Roll D20. Rolled 19.
Okay,
18,
so the
17,
little
15.
Brickmaster body, does manage to start climbing down the wood paneling of the door frame to make its way down to the ground level.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Sentry.
Oh my god.
When Nova's head reaches the ground, can I like scoop Nova, not head, her body? Can I scoop up Nova's body onto my back and then start charging towards the snake?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can just make a
headless
charge.
horseman.
Like that's just part of your movement. Yeah. So you
Headless
just want to move
horseman.
straight up to the snake and make an attack.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Nice. So
You
I
have
do my
your you
buck.
have your attacks. Yeah. So you kind of
So
turn around and with your
that's
back
two
legs kick at the snake's body.
Ooh, that's a 5 total.
Oh, so you kind of like awkwardly turn your body and try and kick, but the snake's thick hide just kind of rebuffs the attack as your hoofs land, and he just lets out this kind of loud "Stop that!" As you attack it. Meanwhile, on the snake's turn, it will try and bite Sentry for its attack. It's only a 7 though, so its fangs like dink against the metal body of your transform-on form. Ding! And these little kind of fangs deflect off. What are you made of? As the snake desperately tries to attack you, but that's it. Ayla.
Can I? So we've all charged forward, so because we're
Yeah.
all one unit of charging.
That's true.
So
You
I
are all
think,
kind of stacked on top of each other. That's true. So you and Lucius can make attacks, I guess, because you're next to the snake.
Yeah, so I'll make an attack with my little hammer on the snake.
Oh!
So
Tiny,
good.
tiny hammer. If I can hit, not. Oh my god, that's a natural 20. It's the little moon. It's the little moon.
That's
Aw.
amazing.
So it's 23 to hit. I only had a +3 to hit, so that was
Well, no, but it's a
extremely
natural
lucky.
20, right? It's a natural
know.
20.
I
So-
know.
So, Ayla, how much damage do you normally deal on a slam?
4.
So it'd become 8. So Ayla charges forward.
With a tiny
and
hammer.
with this tiny hammer, but you catch the snake right on its head, like a kind of like, and with this kind of flicking spring motion, you catch one of the snake's eyes, and it just kind of is like as this tiny hammer like thuds it in the eye as it kind of writhes around
No.
in pain.
Stop that.
And then Lucius,
go.
you readied an action with the lance, so as Ayla strikes it in the eye, you get to make an attack. You have advantage because of Nova's help.
Advantage, yeah. So that was a +3, right?
2.
Oh, that's +2. So that's 15.
15 hits. Yeah, you hit the snake. And then a
And what was it?
D3. So
D3.
D6. Yeah, so D6 and half it. Or
That is 2.
So 2 points of damage.
Bludgeoning damage from Nova's head.
So the Nova's head thuds into the snake, and the snake kind of like lurches to the side as this force of this long stick kind of stabs it in the side. Stop that! As it kind of gets thrown off around. And yeah, like it seems to be quite injured, looking very sheepish, like, you're not supposed to fight back. Keelek.
Can I hear the dog like running down the hallway or something?
So I was going to say, at the end of your turn, you can hear it coming, but Max is going to arrive at the end of your turn, basically.
God.
I want to hold an action for if Zarkira like starts to squeal and like run away when the dog comes in. I want to try and launch to land on Maximilian.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
if she flails and writhes, I leap off of her and try and land on like his collar or something.
Sure. So as the squeaking continues, and you do see this big black and red Doberman kind of pad its way from the library looking for the commotion, sees the door open, moves up to it, and begins growling in the direction of, well, as far as you guys are concerned, all of you and the snake. Just this low kind of like, and the snake is immediately terrified, and it begins writhing and backing away. So yeah, Quill, make this would be a dex check, I guess, to try and sort of pop
Okay.
yourself free and land on top of the dog.
So I'm leaping away from her writhing. I've got a new dice this time.
Oh.
Holy crap! It was a natural 20.
Hey.
So
Right.
you squeeze. As the snake tries to squeeze you one last time, you wriggle yourself enough that it actually rocket propels you into the air. You kind of fly around, and with your one soft, plushy wing, you kind of spin around and land on top of Max's like back. And grab onto his collar. The dog kind of like looks around for a second, barks a couple more times at the snake, who is attempting to make a very swift retreat. But yeah, you land on top of it. Anything else, Quill?
Okay.
I think that's enough.
I guess, yeah, that's enough. But once I land, I squeak again, so I'm like behind its head squeaking.
It's like turning around, trying to see what just landed on it, where this noise is coming from. Lucius.
I don't know at this point. I think I want to.
So the snake's
It's
running away, right?
the snake is gonna looks like it's about to try and flee back to its tank, away from the dog.
Okay.
And you guys, it doesn't look very happy. Like one of its eyes is closed. It's got like this big red saw mark where it's been stabbed by a stick.
We're fine with the snake. It's more the fact that Quill is on the dog now.
Dog. That is an issue.
We utilize this
We
as a
went
good
to
thing.
save you from a snake.
Hang
you call
on.
a dog.
Hang
and
on.
You're on the dog.
It's okay. All part of the plan.
We need to get
What's the
back
plan,
together
Lucian?
and get out. I'm going to try and jump onto Elko to make an escape, essentially.
Sure.
Get out of there.
Yeah, well, you just sit down next to Ayla, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to jump. You're next to World Cage. so-
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Nova, Vija.
Where is my body and Tiangong in relation to my head?
So your head is on an end of a stick being carried by Lucius. Your body, we'll say that your body probably pulled out the pieces of Tiangong. You wouldn't have left them behind, which has been scooped up onto Sentry in Elko form's back. And you are now basically sat on the back. Your body is sat holding Tiangong pieces on the back of Sentry, whilst your head is on Lucius's lance, basically.
I guess can my... I don't really know what to do. I guess can I just reassemble my... I'll reassemble the bits of Tiangong so Tiangong's whole again. But I think I might... Oh my god. I think I might just leave... Sorry.
Your head up on the lance.
I think I might just leave my head and just to kind of... I don't know. Why not? Let's just do it.
Why not?
Let's live.
Leave it up there. Yeah, so you
let's
can just
live this
prepare,
life.
like, okay... You
Yeah.
can just be like, okay, we're making an escape. I'm just going to get my body in place and fix Tiangong up, and then we're good to go, basically.
Yeah. If there was
okay.
an action after all that, it would be to help Lucius again with his aim.
Okay.
If he wants to
If he
stab me
attacks.
into the dog or something. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Why
Sentry.
not?
You can see the snake is beating a hasty retreat, or will do. What would you like to do, Sentry? The dog is kind of looking in the snake's direction and your direction, and is growling low, but is also still interested on what's behind his head.
Okay, I think Sentry then start getting ready to run out of the room, but maybe like taking more of an invasive direction, like trying to stay out of the
Sure.
dog's line of sight as she tries to run.
Yeah, try and keep out of its reach as best you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, Ayla and Sentry and Lucius, Snake Zarkira attempts to flee, and you all get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, great. Do I get the same advantage or no? I guess I would.
You do, because Nova used help action.
Excellent.
18.
Okay. 18 to hit, and 4 damage from Ayla.
14
Sentry?
to hit.
14 still hits, Lucius. So
Very nice.
D3 damage. Sentry?
8.
8 is not enough to hit. You kind of kick back, but miss, unfortunately.
A full 3 points of jousted damage.
So between Ayla and Lucius,
Bong.
you both kind of time your attacks and clonk the snake on the head, and you just watch it go unconscious. Like the whole snake just goes limp on the ground and just kind of flops to the side, unconscious, laid out of its tank. The dog kind of cocks its head to the side, seeing you do this. And if a dog could look impressed, it does. It kind of looks, and it's like... It like takes a sniff towards the snake, barks at it once, and then looks at the three of you kind of quizzically. Like it doesn't take any aggressive action, so we're going to drop out of combat because the snake no longer poses a threat. What do you guys do? Like the dog there's like a knife edge balance right now. Like he doesn't seem to be sure what to do with you.
I mean, the snack is napping now, so
Yeah.
No, for ask
Snack
it
is
to take us
napping.
down to Valla. Ask the dog to take us down to Valla. Let's ride the dog. Let the dog be our friend.
Can we ride the dog? I kind of want to ride
I
the
mean,
dog.
you can try and make friends with a
Valla.
dog. There is a very specific skill for that called animal handling.
Oh, I don't have that.
Pat the dog. Pat the dog. Can I come out with?
Well, you'll
pat
need to
the dog?
transform. Yeah, you
oh,
need to transform. Yeah.
Can I
So
pat
Sentry,
the dog?
Lucius, Ayla, and Nova on your back fall off as you turn back
Yeah.
into a robot.
Sorry.
And then like the dog kind of looks down towards you.
Good boy, Max. Good boy, Max. Can you take us
Little
to
tail
Valla?
starts waggling.
Valla?
Waggles. Make an animal handling check for me, Rihanna.
Yes.
Yes.
19.
19. So you see the tail starts slowly wagging and then it gets quicker. At the word Valor, he seems to get very happy and you see the eyes kind of light up. And he kind of gets down, he lowers his body down so that, you could climb up onto him if you wanted to.
Amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, with the
Yep.
group of you,
Yep.
you all kind of clamber up next to Quill. Sentry's probably a little heavy, but he does seem to be able to
Once you
kind of
get
take
up
it. He's a
there-
big dog. Yeah.
once you get up there, the quill you see, I wasn't paying attention to any of that. I'm like holding on as tight as I can to the collar, just like.
So you get up there and find a very scared-looking stuffed Quill who's shaking. You can see a couple of Quill's stitches have come loose, and stuffing is kind of sticking out of them where he took damage from being crushed. So he does look a little bit injured. But yeah, Max kind of lowers his head. You all climb up, and he's just like, whoa! With one bark, and begins kind of making his way out of the room. Being a good boy, though, he does kind of get up on his hind legs, puts his mouth around the door handle, and pulls the door shut, leaving the snake inside.
Well-trained boy.
Oh, what a good boy.
Get down. And he makes his way
The
down to
best
the long
boy.
hallway. And you see quite a few of the guards kind of look at him. They're like, what have you got there, Max? As they see all the toys on his back. Like, is that those Vala's toys? Are you taking Vala's toys, boy? And you hear like a row, row. And they're like, you're a good boy, Max. And they kind of like stroke his head and stuff. Like, and like, he's just like, and he begins making
You
his
get
way
them on your
along.
back, Max.
Yeah, they're just like, he's a clever dog. He's a smart
What
dog.
kind of boy?
Smart dog.
Oh,
Smart
very
dog.
smart
And
boy.
Don't question it.
he takes you down the stairs into a very opulent, fine foyer with stone floors and suits of armor kind of set up against the walls. It's like a regal mansion, like a palace. And you can see that it's all been decorated. And you see one of the doors is open, and as Max makes his way into it, it's like a lounge. Big, thick leather sofas with fur throws and blankets in front of a kind of fire which hasn't been quite lit yet, and a big smoky chimney. There are paintings of various kind of like scenes, but one of them that draws the attention hangs above the fireplace, and it shows Valla as a young girl. Stood behind her are Callus, her father, and dressed in a very rich coat. And then next to them is a dark-skinned woman in a white dress with hair that is so black and painted in a way that it almost looks like the night sky. And to those of you who are familiar with Aerois, which is all of you, it is unmistakably Siaska, the goddess of Aerois, like the original goddess who created Aerois. And they stand together as a family. They stand like a family portrait. There is a large tree which has been set up on the other side of the room, with covered in all sorts of baubles and ornaments. It's been decorated with strings of flowers and kind of crystals to give it this beautiful appearance. And there are all sorts of gift-wrapped presents underneath it. And you see little Valla, young Valla, kind of cradling her face. You can see kind of like big heavy sobs as she's just holding a very clumsily wrapped gift that you can see she's holding in her hands. And Max kind of plods his way over to it and sort of like nudges up against her, and she kind of like rubs his face and like buries her face in his, and then seems to notice all of you on her back. It's just like, oh, Max, how did you get these? They Daddy put them away. And then she kind of like ceases to see them and sort of like looks down and sort of begins picking you guys up. And you do find that as soon as Valla picks you up, you can't move or speak. You're just locked back into almost like toy-like. As you do so. And she just is just like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I just want to spend time with Mum and Dad. I hate that they have to work and they fight all the time. You're my only friends. And like she's kind of like, you know, sniffling and crying as she speaks, just like, it's not fair. And then a shadow kind of falls over, and you see Callus in this kind of he's taken off the tailcoat jacket, and you can see that he wears just like a kind of woolen kind of jumper underneath, and he comes and sits on the floor next to her. I'm sorry for shouting at you earlier. You have a lot of responsibilities, Valla. Responsibilities I can't fulfill. Your mother is so very busy running the kingdom, and I have my own responsibilities. We just want to make sure that you're ready when you're older. I know, I miss her, and I want to have fun. Mum always wants to have fun. He's just like, I know I'm not as fun as your mother can be. I know that I'm boring and strict, but I love you, and I just want what's best for you. And she holds the little present out to Callus. You can see it says to Mum and Dad written on it. He's like, oh, I think it best that we wait for your mother to get back, don't you? She'll be home soon. And she looks up with big kind of shining eyes. Really? Yes. Now come along. Why don't we have a little adventure with these friends of yours, eh? And he kind of takes he probably takes Ayla and Sentry, the two the least kind of more aggressive looking one. And you can see it's awkward. Like, you can see the way that Callus holds them and he tries to join in. It's very awkward and unpleasant. He tries his best, but it doesn't quite work. But Valla doesn't care. Max, like, kind of runs around between them. And for a few hours, there is just this moment of kind of happy harmony. Until late in the evening, someone appears to much fanfare around the palace. Trumpets are blown, servants wait, and entering through the main doors is a resplendent, dark-skinned woman with black hair that shines like the galaxy. And as soon as she enters, light just almost seems to fill the place. The fire seems brighter, the sconces seem brighter. And she ushers away all of the servants and just embraces Valla tightly to her. And she kind of says, I'm so glad to see you, little one. She kind of pulls her in close. And then she seems to look at all of you. And there is a look of recognition. Not just as toys, but as if she's looking at you as people. Well, I think it's getting quite late and it's nearly someone's bedtime. And Valla's like, no, you've just got home. I am going to be home for many more days now, my darling. We will speak to you. We will play in the morning. But first, let's get you to bed. And you see, I should put her toys away. No, dear, don't worry. Let me do that. Why don't you take her up to bed and I'll take care of the toys. And Callus is like, oh, very well. And he picks up Valla and begins carrying her back up the way she came. And then Siaska just gathers you all up and rests you on a large, comfy sofa and seems to crouch. Well, this is a little predicament, isn't it? You still can't speak or move just yet, but she blinks her eyes, focuses, and you begin to feel that movement coming back. Her powers are getting quite strong. She's created quite the little illusion here. You should be able to move and speak now.
I can't believe it. It can't possibly be you. It's such an honor.
No. Believe me, the honor is mine.
I think Sentry would take a knee, just like bow on one knee, head deep into her chest.
I'm afraid that I'm really sort of an echo of who you think I am. I'm not ready yet. My powers are returning, and I think Vala's desires have manifested me in a way it's difficult to explain. Divinity stuff, I'm afraid. But I think I have enough power to return us to the world that was. But my question, my little toys, is do you want to? Do you wish to go back to how things were? Facing danger and death at every corner? You're safer here. No more lost loved ones. No more pain. Just happy days on adventures with my daughter.
That does sound lovely, doesn't it? I'll look over at Lucius's beautiful mansion that's in the corner.
Sure.
It's got everything we need. I've got all the fashion I could ever have. But no one to share it with. No one real.
And if we didn't go back, then who would stop the evil and the death back there? Someone's got to do it, right?
Does it have to be you? You've all suffered so much.
I don't see anyone else stepping up. Why not us? Gives us purpose.
Well, that's two. What about the rest of you?
The Valla here has found some level of peace and happiness in the family that she has with you and with Callus, but that's not the Callus and the Valla that we know. We have to bring that level of peace to her.
Siaska looks forlornly towards the door and the stairs. I know you have a lot of my son in you, but you're not quite right about everything. There's a lot more of that man in your world than you realize.
I see.
Well, 3 of 5.
We have a responsibility now. All the pain we've endured, surely it has to keep coming so we can have real adventures with Valla in the future and everybody else on Aerois. I want it all to be real.
Responsibility is a big thing. I understand responsibility and duty. And what of our little curious Ganes?
I won't lie. I do think having detachable limbs and a detachable head would be quite useful without any penalties. Just think of all the things I could explore and do with it. But on top of what everyone else has said, Tiangong's not here. Tiangong is still out there and still needs to be reunited and made whole. And as long as Tiangong needs that, I'm afraid I can't stay here.
Still needs a brickmaster to put them all back together again. Well, I think I have enough. Whatever remains of me here, my daughter's powers are still young, untested. I think I can undo all of this. But perhaps I could ask a favor of you all. Give me till morning.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
She just kind of gathers you all up, takes you upstairs quietly, silently, brings you into the bedroom that you had spent so much energy to escape, and you see a very sleepy Valla softly drifting off as her father, Callus, your enemy, the one who has done so much harm to the real world that you know, reads her a story of a knight who had to make a terrible decision to save his kingdom. But Valla drifts off. Siaska places you next to her, puts a hand on Callus's shoulder. Their hands her hand drifts down his arm and interlocks in his fingers. They stand up and leave together. And you spend the night just listening to Valla sleep. Left alone in the quiet with just each other for company. No sleep needed for toys. Is there anything over the night that you discuss or that happens?
I think at some point I might kind of scooch in closer to her, see if like she might grab me or something and just like as a hug. I'm a hug me quill. That's what I do.
You do? Kind of like wiggle in, and like the kind of subconscious feeling is, yeah, she kind of squeezes you tight, sensing that something's there.
I'll whisper to the rest of the party so that Valla doesn't hear.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all needed this. Vala's given us something special. This is our goal. What we're aiming for. Let's make it happen.
Agreed.
Yeah, this is nice.
The window just at the foot of Vala's bed looks out onto a starry night sky, and you just kind of happily watch the stars and the clouds until golden rays begin to crest the horizon as you sit and enjoy just hours of peace and safety. And as the first rays begin to crest, you hear Siaska's voice once again. Well, it is time for the dream to end. But I will return soon. Keep her safe until then. The light builds until it becomes a blinding white light. And then when it fades, you are back on the Storm Chaser. You wake in beds, in quarters, wherever you happen to be.
Well, that was a weird dream, huh?
Wait, you're all there? You had the same dream?
Dreamt I was a big squishy toy, and Valla was squeezing me, and then a dog chased me, and a snake bit me and squeezed me as well, and I got squeezed. I kept getting squoozed. What's the past tense of squid?
It was real. And we had Transformon, Sentry, and Brickmaster Nova. And Strong
I
Arm.
used my head to hit a snake.
Sorry about that. I mean, it worked. It worked, right?
I've got a bit of a headache now.
So was that truly Valla that did that?
Was it truly Siaska?
Did she speak to us?
And she,
Who's to say?
more importantly, she said she's coming back.
Let's make it happen then. Like I said.
Well, on that, we've got a bit of time to read out some donos. But that very canon episode of High Rollers comes to an end.
Damn.
Really?
All right. It's
Oh,
canon.
Oh,
There
we
you
were
go,
telling
everyone.
everyone it wasn't canon.
Wow.
Episode 95.
I mean, canon is to say, I mean, it didn't happen in Aerois, but, you know, yeah, for sure.
Damn.
There's some very
Alright.
real lore in there. Very real
There's
story.
very real lore.
Very
real
real,
lore.
yeah.
You don't have to feel the
element.
whole fucking
Yeah.
thing up, Mark. Jeez.
Oh,
feel.
I didn't
Feels-
expect
Was it going to be what, like, a
responsible
not bit?
sad dad.
Yeah.
Responsible
giving him-
sad
sad dad.
Now I'm
Yeah.
with Nova. I'm going to go join Starbane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh.
Finally, this is why.
He's a soft boy the whole time. He's
Wait, what was the
Well,
gift?
Stupid,
I mean,
sexy
let's-
dead
Let's not go
Bane.
too far. he's not a soft boy. He's
Yeah.
he just has a bit of bad energy, let's say.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know,
I want to
Yeah.
see Starbane in a jumper, though. You know. Hello.
yeah.
I
was gonna
Oh,
say,
I'm sure that's
if
happening.
and when we
It'll
fight
be happening.
Starbane in the main campaign, if and when we fight Starbane, I'm absolutely just gonna be ruined by the fact I will be imagining him in a dad jumper.
Yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, so
Playing with toys
GG.
with Valla.
Yeah.
Bad vibe.
Little
What
toys.
was the gift? What
Well-
was the gift? What was the gift?
You don't know? You don't know?
Oh,
Shit.
God damn it! She
Yeah.
probably got like a Buzz
It was
Lightyear or
a
something.
Hadar
Ugh.
plushie.
Have to remind
Hadar
us
plushie.
to when things blow over, which it'll be fine. We'll ask Vala
It'll be
what
fine.
that was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Will Valor remember?
If she
That's a good
knows,
question.
if she knows, yeah.
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 Maybe
Yeah.
you'll all remember.
Was
but
it a
she-
PlayStation 5?
I'm writing it.
Yeah, it was the rarest gift
The
of all.
rarest
A
gift of
PlayStation
all.
5.
Or just an
One
IOU.
thing that nobody, not even Hadar, can get hold of. A PS5.
That's why he mad. That's why he's
Yeah.
so mad.
Where's my
PS5?
PS5? Hey, Mark.
I can consume everything except PS5 games because I have nothing to play them on. Right. I'm going to try and read out.
Mark,
That's
Go on,
canon.
Tom.
Mark.
Yeah.
Look how close we got to that goal. You set a goal of 1920. We are so close to
Well,
that. Holy
if
crap.
there's still 15
Ooh.
minutes where we can read out some stuff, and people can
Go,
talk
go,
about
go.
their favorite games in the Jingle
We'll
Jam.
read them out as they
So
come
if
in.
people can get another 840 odd pounds, that would be amazing. 840 odd pounds.
Alternatively,
That's
if we
I think
get
that's
to
doable.
1925,
If everybody in chat does £1.
if we get to 1925, then we'll force the merch team to make a plushy quill.
Yeah. We'll make them
Yeah.
ourselves. We'll make them. There'll be
Yeah.
like
Oh,
4, and
damn.
they'll be a
It
bit.
just
Oh,
went
look at it
way
go.
up.
Wait, whoa!
Oh.
See that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
What was that?
That's
Someone
because they
went
changed
through.
the goal. They
Oh,
changed
they
the goal to
reset it.
1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Nice,
changed
thank
the
you.
goal.
All right.
There we go.
Relativity.
There we go.
That would
Right.
have been like 34,000 raised this stream if we reached that goal. So thank you very much.
Wow,
everybody.
really? 34,000
Wow.
this stream?
That's
We
crazy.
started
That
at
is
1.886, something like that. 816.
Louise.
Well, I mean, we did have the amazing recall help us out massively there as well.
Indeed.
Right.
Oh,
the only
yeah,
thing with the reader is
sure.
it's quite hard to read like stuff that I've already read. If I click these, they go away. Oh, they do.
You click
Good.
them and they disappear.
I should have
click 'em
done
and
that.
they disappear.
Before. I should have done that.
Magic.
I should have done that before.
Much like
We
our
had
dreams.
150 from No Name Provided. Thank you very much. Lexi as well donated a hundo to the National Video Game Museum.
Nice.
Felipe donated again a hundo. Second
you.
hundo this year, but I'm actually working, and I know so many cannot, so it only seems fair. Love you all.
Oh.
Each
Very
of you have been a
kind.
big part of my life in some way for almost 10 years now, and I'm thankful for every second. Keep up the amazing work. You know what? Oh, we're getting damn close. In fact, actually, I'm going to throw in... Somebody else read some donations. I'm going to throw in my own hundo to the Jingle Jam.
I don't have access to the reader.
Good
Someone
on
else do it.
I don't either.
Kim's got
Reader.
access, I believe.
I-
Kim's the only other one that has
Closed
access.
it. Oh, I fucking closed it. Filibuster.
I mean,
Filibuster. Show the art. Show the art. I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Just show
talk
the
about
art. Give me a minute.
Those of you, Tom, what's your favorite games in the Jingle Jam bundle this year?
My favorite games. Oh my god, there's so goddamn many. For the King is incredible. I
up.
said this. I said this the other day. But if you're sleeping on For the King, wake the fuck up, sheeple. It's amazing. It's really, really good. 3 players. You can play it with
Right.
online with your friends. It's like a dungeon diving adventure RPG, turn-based, awesome game. So there you go. There's that. Dicey Dungeons. That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
smash
Don't
Anyway,
be.
through.
I've got so many more I could
Some
read out.
donos. I may be doubling up because I wasn't paying attention. I was, but shut up. Thank you to Kristen and T and Mark T for a hundo. Thank you to Mortimer for another hundo. Love you guys in the Jiggle Jam. Keep up the good work. A hundo from Oberoth. Thank you to all those being bright lights in these dark times.
We
thank
did
you very much.
Oh,
We did it! Hey,
We've actually
thank
gone
you so
over
much.
as well.
We've done
We're gonna
840.
rock it over.
Can we
Who did
get
that?
to
Who
that
did- who did it?
1925
We've got 10 minutes
that we
left.
originally had there? That's a
Yeah,
big,
if we can
that's a
get the
big challenge.
Yeah.
1925,
It's a
if
massive
we can get
challenge.
5k in 10 minutes, that's kind of amazing.
That's a
Happy
huge
with it.
challenge.
I mean,
It's a big
Uh,
hut.
Where's Ravs when you
Yeah.
like Ravs and Nilesy would
well, listen,
like,
here's the thing, though.
Nilesy-
Here's the thing.
Who was doing
5k, sounds like a lot, but if everybody in chat can just give £1, or not even everybody, but as many people as possible in chat can give £1.
If you're confused that you can't donate just £1, the way to do it is you need to. You can do it. I'm going to explain how. So what you have to do is you put in a name and an email, whatever it is that it asks for. Then you go to the next step and remove the bundle if you've got it already. And then if you go back to the first page, you can then bring it back down to whatever you want to donate that's under 25. So that's the way to do it. If you want to do less and you've already donated, that's the way. Okay, so
that's
go
for
it.
it. Thank you, Chris.
In the meantime, we had a generous £840 donated from No Name Provided. So thank you very much.
That was
I think
what we
just
needed.
slid in
That was
just
the
there.
amount we needed.
We also have a hundo from a very wholesome Mark Sherlock Humes, who says, "Doing my bit." Sounds like a right twat. We also have a hundo from Yeti MF. Love you, High Rollers. This one shot is fantastic, and I love all the fan art. Thank you to Ksos, who says £10 for every time this session made me cry, laughing or otherwise. £60 donated in total from Ksos. To humanize that tyrannical warlord, and thanks for the years of entertainment. Here's to hitting more charity goals and 2 milli before Jingle Jam ends. Thank you to Shahan, who's donated a £500. Great streams and efforts raising loads of money from the past years. Been watching since the old Take It days and Shadow of Israel. Thank you to Falconer for the £500. You guys are awesome. You make my day, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you to Godriff. Thanks for all you are doing for charity, and well done to the community for raising so much money. Thank you to Dexter Rabbit. Thank you, High Rollers and Yogscast, for all that you do for charity. Have a wonderful holiday season and stay safe. We got £69.69 from our old friend Ideniken. Who says thank you for a nice stream and for all your Jingle Jam work. Nice. Thank you to Michele, who says, I had to help my faves reach their goals. Merry Christmas, and I love you guys. Thank you to Kitten, who did a half hundo. I love High Rollers. I thought it was very fitting to donate on this stream. Keep up the good work, everybody. Thank you to Dealhon, who says, love all your faces. So thanks for loving our faces.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank
Less
you to
than 500
Turin, who donated a half hundo.
Almost 400.
Don't normally get to watch live.
300.
What?
Sorry, no wait.
300,
I can't
200, 100.
I was going to say,
Okay.
it's still not 1922. Yeah.
Can I have my character
that's still
sheet back?
That's like another 2K that we've made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just noticed Mr. Piff slid in there with £56.67 and said, let's make it 500. Thanks a lot, guys. So I think Mr. Piff has now donated up to £500.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you to
3K.
Elaine, who's donated a half hundo. Thanks for all you do to brighten up everybody's day. Thank you to Sam Skywalker. High Rollers is my favourite part of the Jingle Jam.
Very kind.
And Turin says, don't normally get to watch live, but love listening to the podcast at work. So thank you for all the good times, High Rollers. Shall I keep going, or does anyone want to say stuff?
I'm going to read out 3 more. I'll do 3 more, and then we're on to because the 35 tier, there's too many of them, guys. We just can't read them out. I'm so sorry. But I want you guys to have a think before we go off. This kind of wraps up a year of High Rollers almost for us. We are going to keep going on for the rest of the year. But yeah, just be nice to hear maybe some of your favorite moments from the year of High Rollers that we've just done. Maybe.
Boy.
We have 5 minutes.
So many.
Gosh, it's been a
Yeah,
big
I
I don't want to
year.
spoil it for those people who are not caught up, though.
Yeah. Try
Yeah.
no
I don't wanna
spoileries.
Yeah,
spoil
there's a lot of people.
No spoiler version. Try and think of your favorite moments that aren't big spoilers.
Oh god.
This
Even if
has
it's
been
just
a
a little.
blur.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
Serpent Frog, thank you very much. 50 poundos, mental health organization. Obligatory annual donation for the best stream in the Jingle Jam. Thank you very much. That's not true, but thank you. Nathan, thank you very much for your donation. Love you guys. Watched for years and wanted to finally get on the fun. Keep doing what you do for everyone. Lots of love. Nathan from Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. And then End of Friend was $40. So great that you do this every year. Finally able to donate a bit extra this year and want to make sure you do it on your stream. High Rolls is great. I love keeping up with the stories you build. Thanks very much. I would love to read out all of these 31. There's too many. There's too many of them, guys. But it's very
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
going to
you.
say that number is a launching. So that's incredible.
That is going up. Oh my god, yeah. It's nearly at
guys.
nearly at 1923 now as well.
Nearly, yeah.
So
That's
so
crazy.
who's got a favorite High Rollers bit?
Starting with Sentry.
Yes.
Okay. God, there's so many to go through.
Starting with Kim.
There's a lot this year.
I think.
Put your
Start with
favorites in
anyone.
chat.
I think
Finishing.
No
uh,
spoilers.
Yeah, put your favorites in chat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, go. Sentry.
dance. Okay, the competition that Sentry and Ayla took part in was
Yep.
very fun, and
That's not.
I had a big laugh doing that. That was really
Yeah.
fun, really silly fun, very good.
Amazing.
I enjoyed
Kim?
the whole run up to. Sorry, I enjoyed the whole run up to the Quill arc, which is recent, so I'm not
arc,
going to
yeah.
say anything. So I'm just going to say the Quill arc and the lightning involved in that.
Yeah.
That's probably mine.
There's a lot of cool
Pretty
build up
badass.
to that. I feel like that was like a real slow
Yeah.
burn that happened throughout the campaign gradually, and then it led up to something really cool. Kim?
I think, okay, speaking to an old friend, finishing a personal project, and that one where I cried my eyes out recently and just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried because that was quite therapeutic. There you go.
That's good to know. There you go. Tom,
Oh,
and Trot,
awesome.
have you got one? Do you need some time?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've got some stuff to read out.
Go Trot.
We finally got through that wall and that whole thing that after it. Pretty cool. And the island that moves is pretty cool too.
The
Yeah.
island that moves.
That was a cool
Nice.
place. That was a cool place.
My favorite bit was all the friends we made along the way. Somewhat seriously, because like after a year of doing Aerois, what else would I be doing on a Sunday evening? It's so cool to play games with you guys every single week. And Mark constantly we throw a ball at him,
Elevate.
boom,
Yeah.
Bam!
home run every single time. And it's
Don't know about
Yeah.
home run every time, but sure.
honestly,
Thank you.
no, I mean like every episode where I'm
Yeah.
like, that was the coolest episode. That was the coolest damn episode. And then
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
week, that was the coolest
Thank
damn
you.
episode. So if you're listening in episode
Yeah.
1, you're thinking like, fuck, that was cool. It only gets better.
It just gets better.
Only gets better.
It gets
It's
better.
such a cool. And if you
Yeah.
didn't
Mark,
like it,
what
then I
about
don't know what to tell
what
you.
about yours? What about your favorite moment, Mark, from this year, from your personal High Rollers experience? Anything that was particularly great for you?
It's different things. I think the Trial of Aeons I was very happy with, just like the way that it played out and the mechanics, but also the emotion into it as well, like the characters and NPCs and stuff.
I really enjoyed that too. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
But also
really
the
good. Yeah.
exploring the world beyond the astral sea. So like
Yes.
doing all the stuff, the
yeah.
exploration was very cool. 'Cause it's
Which
very
we
different.
thought
That whole bit.
early on would not take that long because the pandemic might be over in a few months. So it turns out
Yeah.
we'll go back to
Yeah.
Aerois when we're back at the table. Can't do that.
But in our last few minutes, I'm going to rattle through these. No name
Sure.
provided, £600. No name putting in work here. Thank you very
Oh,
much,
wow.
No name. Elon Bear,
Oh my god, we
£200.
are so
Thank you very
close.
much. Yeah, love you all, Hugh Rollers. You have presents incoming soon. Thank you, Elon Bear. You don't have to send us anything, but thank you, Dave.
100 came in.
I was done donating for this year, but that one shot was awesome. Thank you, Dave. Delindan, love you all so much and giving to those who need it. Thank you very much. Lee, a hundo. Thank you very much. Micro Monkey, a hundo. Well done, guys, for reaching your modified goal. You're the best D&D crew out there. Thank you very much. £50.
Thank you.
No name provided. First time ever watching High Rollers. Thank you for the amazing stream. Well, no name. I'm so
Thank
glad you
you.
enjoyed it.
Aw.
I watch this every Sunday.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, loads of
Thank
amazing
you.
donations. We're gonna have to go because they gotta get set up for Sweaty Shooters, which I'm in, by the way. So I'm gonna be on stream again in an hour. I'm gonna go
Are you?
to the office. Yep,
We're
yep,
just right
because I
there.
did it last year and I wanted to do it again this year. Mitch Goat,
Hey.
another
Stop
100.
it.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
if we
listen,
can get
real quick,
We're so close.
£600.
So close.
if
Very
if
close.
you
Tom.
enjoyed High Rollers and you haven't listened to us before, check out the YouTube channel. There's loads of really quick series if you want to check up on those. The podcast goes out. It's a very quick way of listening to High Rollers. If you're into
Yeah.
it, please join
Twice
us.
a week
Join the
on the
community. It's
podcast.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
The
we got
community that you'll
Discord.
be
Come and join our community Discord. Go on our subreddit. We got a subreddit for High Rollers. The podcast comes up twice a week, so it's like 90-minute episodes. Really great way to catch up. It's all on YouTube. You can all check out our individual streams, our individual YouTubes, all of that good stuff. Watch more awesome, fun D&D. We've got one shots. We did Curse of Strahd. We've got like little one-shot campaigns. Come and watch as much of it as you can. Mitch Goat, thank you very much. 100. Thanks for getting me D&D in your first campaign. My Moon Druid just hit 2 years old. I'm assuming 2 years of you playing the character, not. I'm going to keep stalling because there's only
Come on, you can do
and
it.
What time is it?
76
8 o'clock? Oh, God.
pounds to go.
6 o'clock.
75.
400
Come
pounds
on.
to go.
Oh,
Um,
the line!
So
We've got it.
close.
We've got it.
I'm so
Hold the
tempted to just
line.
do another 100 myself. I'm so tempted
It's
to do
going
another
up.
100
It is
myself.
Hold
sneaking
the
up.
line.
I will demolish this whole mince pie in one go if we can do it. Come on.
Remember what I said?
Oh my
if you
god,
get to
now I
one-
want to
That's
see
an
that.
incentive.
I did say
wanna
if we
see
get to
that, 'cause
195.
Oh,
she's
shit, it is
definitely gonna
going.
spit
It's on my
it out.
desk. I need to get rid of it.
I don't-
Please.
Under
How old is
470
it?
Unless
now.
somebody
Come
drops
on.
a big one, it's not. I think we've pushed everyone as much as we can. Oh my god.
But they'll reach
It's
the goal
going
very
low.
quickly in
There,
switch
there.
shooters. Oh wait, those are
Yeah!
500!
Woo! Get that mince pie in your face! Get that mince pie in your face! In your face! In your face!
Going.
Ah!
Pog, very pog. Amazing.
Thank you, everyone.
Such a beautiful
Right,
woman.
guys, thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank
The Sweaty
so
Shooters, Ravs, Rithian, G, Sips, and then myself in about an hour. They're going to play some COD Zombies, which you can
Yes.
get some stuff for in the bundle. They're going to play that for an hour. I'm going to join them in about an hour's time for some FPS games. Go and watch that. Thanks so much for all your generosity. It's so amazing. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed the one shot.
See
Take
ya.
care. We love you. Goodbye.
Thank
Thank you to
Bye.
the 500.
everyone.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Bye.